I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
All right, should be live, I think. I don't know. Live here, 10 drink minimum, Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
It's time. Let me...
What you doing out here with all this ass?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Really coming in
Double
hot.
cheeked up, hella ass. It's a Sunday afternoon. The sun's still shining. That's a very popular TikTok meme.
Oh, all right. I was like,
What y'all doing here with all this ass?
we're not a privy to all the kids slang nowadays.
It was really weird for a minute because I'd go on. I don't know if you guys were familiar with Vine or if you were on Vine at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the new Vine.
Right.
But then again, of course, it's like now there's another generation. I don't know what they were even called. But they're funny kids. They're very creative.
Are they like a collective or what kind of things going on here?
No, it's just like it's easier to create content because there's a lot of media that's intertwined with the content. Like you can do like a movie scene.
What's
Yeah.
the difference? What's the difference between TikTok and Vine?
First, TikTok is longer and
Yes.
higher quality videos. And the thing about original content, it was a lot harder to do on Vine.
Right.
Whereas TikTok,
Yeah.
they have all the things set up for you.
Don't you think that was better though? For like Vine, you had 6 seconds.
Yeah.
You had 6 seconds to be a badass, and I felt like there were people that, of course they edited their videos. It wasn't like
Right.
they just filmed a 6-second video, but some people didn't. They were just filming shit.
Right.
I think you would just sit there and watch them all day long.
That's all I fucking do. And TikTok's almost the same thing. But like I said, these kids are like, 15, 16.
Oh, yeah.
They're big. They're funny. And I've had a relatively viral TikTok video I did that featured that Full House song.
right.
Yeah.
But then they pulled it because of drug use, and they're really good about like if you're like if you're a content creator, especially like a young girl, like if you're like dressed sexy, they're like, this is fucking done. You're out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That's very good. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm into that.
They want to keep, the kids safe.
And I did have a post taken down because it was during Ella, our friend's daughter's birthday. She got a BB gun for her birthday.
And they took it down because there was a gun in the
Because there
video.
was a gun in the video, which is
Wow.
cool too. It's kind of keeping, having a tight stranglehold on what's.
That's kind of how YouTube is now. Like they took down all the gun stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. Or you can't monetize it now, so there's like YouTube's gotten very strict about things. Like the drug stuff you can't monetize, the gun stuff you can't monetize from what I understand.
I was,
Well-
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think it's also because there's been a few incidents, I believe, on TikTok and on YouTube of kids doing really, really stupid things and hurting themselves or, bullying other people. So,
Yeah, you can't monetize comedy now. They've shut that down. I'm just kidding.
you can't.
You mean like you're telling me I can't go on YouTube and see the whatever my favorite content dude like do dabs anymore?
Right.
Right.
Lead ball, hot lead ball through a watermelon. That you can't.
Yeah,
they don't
can't
monetize
do
that
that.
anymore.
What? I don't think anybody's really ever been able to monetize comedy, if we're being honest.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, monetizing comedy is a loose term.
I mean,
it's so
I-
hot I have to have a towel to wipe my face off.
It is hot. I actually I'm down to like I'm always double or triple layered up. Now I
Right.
just have this one shirt, and it's actually doing me some justice as far as keeping cool.
You just switched over to the Hawaiian style of living. You're like, just this button up. It's breezy.
It's breeze. This thing breathes. It's like better than a cotton shirt. It's
Yo, it's hot out there, guys. Watch out for the goth kids. One could just heat stroke and fall over.
And check on your goth friends.
The listeners actually can't see what I'm wearing, but this is kind of like the new style, kind of like I call Kyle chic, where it's somebody's popping claws.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that doesn't go for me is that I'm bald and have a beard. Normally, I would have like a white dude, yeah, brown. But I would have like nicely like I don't know, the nice whatever Chad haircut or whatever with the shirt
haircut
or cargo shorts at least.
Cargo shorts. I was at the
just put on a Kangol, dude.
I was at the so New Mexico United played our semi-pro soccer team. They played Cardiff City, Wales. Like they flew to the United States, and the reason why I'm telling you is he said cargo shorts. Well, we have these really amazing New Mexico United flags. I have one hanging in the house. Some dude took maybe one of them or maybe multiple of them and made cargo shorts out of them at the game. Like there was he didn't make them at the game, but he had them on at the game.
That's creative.
Yeah, I felt really bad for those for the other team. They landed. So the game was Thursday.
Yeah.
They landed from Wales Wednesday afternoon.
Oof.
So we looked it up. Albuquerque's like 5,500 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's over
Those people live 55 miles above sea level.
Oh wow.
So not only do they fly in the afternoon before they have to play, it was like 103 degrees. They're 5,400 and like 45 feet above where they live, and they have jet lag. One of the dudes collapsed on the field.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
he just fell over, and they had to go and give him water and stuff. They had to like carry him off. I was like, I told you it was gonna happen. Nobody listened to me.
My girlfriend just came back from New Zealand, and I thought jet lag. Oh, okay, just nap it off. You'll be gone.
No.
It's like apparently the third day is the worst.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
have you never? Oh yeah, I haven't flown. I flew to Europe, and they were like, "You sleep a lot." I was like, "Cause it's my time to sleep right now." It's 3 in the afternoon for you, not for me.
When I went to Germany to visit my parents when they were living there, the first time I went there, it was like my dad tried to even schedule the flights where I would land there at night and be able to fall asleep right away, and none of that worked.
No.
None of it worked.
It doesn't, yeah.
It like discombobulates you for a few days. You're just very confused. You can't eat at the right times. It's just weird.
That's why I don't understand like why people would go just for like 2 weeks. Like they take a 2-week vacation, they go to Europe. You're really only going to spend a good 7 days there because you're like flying.
Yeah.
For like when I flew to Germany, it was like from here to Dallas to Chicago to Munich. And I think it was a total of 16 hours. It was some shit like that. I was like, geez, that's better part of a day. I mean,
Right.
I mean, it's not 3/4 of a day. And then, for like 2 days, you're like just sleeping.
I eventually figured it out, and I would get on the schedule before I left, and then I would schedule my flight where I would be in the air during German nighttime and sleep, and then when I landed, it would be morning.
Whenever you said German nighttime, all I could think about was glow sticks, and it's all they're like doing like crazy EDM dancing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did on the plane.
German nighttime.
Welcome
to German nighttime.
That'd be a weird nightclub.
Yeah. It's German nighttime.
Like, what's my monkey?
Would you like a lager?
I really
Would you like some Jägermeister?
Jägermeister. Would you like
a
Lowen
voice? Because, I can go and get away with, like, say, an Australian accent because there are people of color there sometimes. I mean,
really?
For me to try to go to, like, say, like, do a German accent, they'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
What is this guy doing
just
right
loud
now?
And scary. It's like very beautiful people
from Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Very things like
that's not how Germans sound. We're gonna hit you now.
They're very beautiful people with the ugliest language. It's like it sounds very weird.
And it's all about their
love
tone.
Our language.
Yeah.
Because they don't have as many words as we do.
It's the greatest being Aussie verb.
They don't have as many words
yeah.
Yes,
in their
this
language.
podcast called 10 Drink Minimum.
They don't use W. Like wa.
No, they don't.
They instead of wa, they say va.
Yeah.
You know, like BMW, they call them a BMV.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And
Very
then they have fewer words, so they use their tone.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll change the whole meaning of a word.
Yeah. And then they do that soft J shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fair.
That's fair.
Oh, it's hot. Oh, my God.
They also don't use double S's because of that one incident.
Which one?
You know, the one they're real embarrassed about.
The second one.
When David Hasselhoff took the wall down?
Yes, that one.
And
That's
saved
the one.
us all?
Saved us all.
Thanks, David Hasselhoff.
Thanks, Kit.
Also, don't talk shit about Hasselhoff in Germany.
Oh, fuck no.
Oh, they love the Hasselhoff.
So that's really a thing then. It's not just...
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why. None of the people I hung out with, they didn't like him. They were more like metalheads, and they really liked Guns N' Roses and sang the word fuck a lot. They were really into that.
Oh, hello, Buck. I just saw.
Oh, yeah, I saw Buck was in the chat. Yeah, they like to say the word fuck a lot. They called me fucking Chris because I was from America, and like that's our word, you know.
They're
Really
all American.
Fucking Chris,
Fucking
how are you?
Chris.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I'm doing very good. Buck says hello. He
You like to
"Hola."
fuck berserker.
You want to fuck berserker? Would you like to make a fuck berserker? That was like one of my favorite lines. He's like, he's in a band called like Fuck You Yankee Blue Jeans or something. Did you see that there's a new one coming out?
I did
my
see
God.
that.
Yeah, a new Jay and Silent Bob. They just announced it. I was like, ooh.
Oh, I thought
yeah.
for some reason I misunderstood what you were talking about. What's been on my mind is the new Top Gun that doesn't need to come out.
I know.
The new Jay and Silent Bob I'm very excited for, but the new Top Gun does not need to happen.
And it's
Maverick?
and it's super cliche, right? I was watching the trailer, and he's all, you've been in the military for 30 years. He's like, you've flown every plane there is. He's like, you're the best pilot there is. He's like, you've been busted down in rank, and all we do is call you captain. Why is that? And he's all, well, he says some fucking cliched shit. He's like, I don't know, I'm too old for this or something. You know, it's ridiculous.
Oh my God. I saw somebody on my Facebook feed.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. I'll go to. No, I'm gonna be there. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm gonna go see it.
I saw somebody on my Facebook feed legitimately, not ironically, excited for it. And I lost respect for them immediately.
They weren't excited for Top Gun?
They were.
Oh, they were.
Like, not ironically excited.
I don't know.
I'm incredibly excited.
When I was a kid, I walked out of the theater like, I mean, I was like 12, and I was like, yeah, you know.
I think I just hate Tom Cruise. That's
Jets are cool.
Who doesn't want to be a freaking fighter pilot?
Well, that's fine, but do they have to use Tom Cruise still?
Buck says he's finally going to have that on-screen sex scene with Iceman. Yeah, because Val Kilmer's in it as well as Iceman.
Yeah. How great is that?
I hope he goes, because you're dangerous, that's why. And then at the end, he's like, I'll fuck with you anytime.
I don't know. I feel very out of place on this podcast right now.
Well, the thing is, I'm out of place because I've never even seen the movie.
What?
I know.
What?
Oh my God.
I know. It's one of those movies that are pretty, it's an 80s institution.
If you want the experience,
we're gonna have to go play some beach volleyball.
Well,
man.
hold on. If you want the experience, there's a certain place with a volleyball pit over on San Mateo and Montgomery.
Yes.
Walk in there Sunday afternoon and just look out on the volleyball court, and that's the Top Gun experience.
Yes. That's a good one.
Because like we went there one day, I was with you, and we walk in, and it was just like there's like 10 dudes out playing volleyball, super muscled up, and they all have their shirts off, and like I swear to God, they oiled their bodies.
Yeah.
You know?
I did a show
That's
there
fair.
one time, comedy, and it was just a bunch of dude bros.
Yeah.
And they were oily. I was like, what is going on right now?
It's great comedy. I like it.
Highway to the Danger Zone.
Oh, yeah. I felt like I was in the danger zone.
Can I have a
Can I also have one? I was obsessed with the Top Gun soundtrack when I was a kid. I would just walk around with my Care Bears cassette player with the Top Gun
like the worst
soundtrack.
the worst sounding speaker on it. It's like
yeah.
And you're just like loving it. You're like, yes, rewinding it, playing the song over again until the tapes wore out.
I'm pretty sure my parents hated it. I don't know.
Well, did you see in the trailer where he's on the crotch rocket again, flying down the airstrip?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm like, Is he a little old for that at this point? He's like in his 50s or
he's in his 50s.
He's in his 50s flying down. Well, Tom Cruise is not in his 50s, is he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Hey Google, how old is Tom Cruise?
All right.
Tom Cruise is 57 years old.
57 years old, and he's on his crotch rocket, still flying down the tarmac, like
Think about this. He does all those stunts, so he's actually flying. They have him in the back of a jet flying.
Yeah.
At 57 years old.
I hate Tom Cruise. I'm just gonna say it.
Why do you hate him?
I just hate his face.
Whoa.
I hate everything about him.
Okay.
I hate the Scientology thing.
Okay.
I hate his face again. Also, somebody showed me his teeth, like how
they got fixed.
He has a middle, like, I don't know. You'd have
middle
to.
tooth. He has a middle tooth in the front of his mouth.
It freaks me out, and now I can't unsee it.
He had to get braces to fix it.
I mean, that's fine, but I hate it. It doesn't make me hate it any less. I feel for him, but it's awful.
What's your favorite Tom Cruise movie, though?
I mean, I guess Top Gun.
Okay. Because I'm not a big fan of him as well.
Maybe Risky Business?
Yeah, but he's in, like, the Mission... I think Mission Impossible 2 is a great film.
Yeah.
And people, like, hate that one.
I think the entire franchise of Mission Impossible are, like, the best action movies ever made.
And he owns it, right? It's his franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he owns the rights to it.
After the first one, he bought it outright.
Correct.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just hate his stupid face.
Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite one.
She did not want him as Lestat the vampire. Anne Rice or whatever, yeah.
Oh.
Really?
Because the character of Lestat is, like, young.
Yeah.
And he's like because, I mean, have you seen...
old man, we don't want you.
Have you seen Queen of the Damned?
Yes.
No. Where he's like a rock star in that? Like, it wasn't as popular, but that's actually, like, if you read the books, that's what Lestat the vampire is like. He was a rock star for a long time. Like, just in the books, he just became a rock star because he's, like, goth-looking, vampire, good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And then Interview with the Vampire, they made him just kind of like... I mean, Tom Cruise played him. I mean... She didn't want him.
I don't blame her.
Apparently, you've never seen the movie Rock of Ages.
Oh, right. I have not seen that. Is it terrible?
I don't know. But no, Tom Cruise is fine. I have no problem with him. I do have a problem with because he was married to Nicole Kidman, and Nicole Kidman is like my dream woman.
So you were jealous of him?
Well, not jealous. Like when they separated, I was like, "Fuck this."
So BMX Bandits is like one of your favorite films of all time?
Oh, that's great. Freaking the others, Moulin Rouge, guys.
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. Have you really seen BMX Bandits?
Yeah, the Australian.
Oh
one.
yeah, okay. Because I remember when I was a kid and that came out, and I just thought it was I watched some real high class shit when I was a kid, and that was one of them. I've seen BMX Bandits probably 26 times.
It's tight,
and it's like. She was in it, and you're like, good B movie.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
Do you know what BMX Bandits is?
I do not.
So these two guys who ride around on their BMX bikes, because BMX, that was really big in the 80s.
Yeah.
They're like riding their bikes through like a mall area. This is in Australia, by the way.
Okay.
And they wreck their bikes into her. She's like a waitress or something, and destroy their bikes.
Oh.
And so they end up becoming friends, but their bikes are destroyed, so they have to get new bikes.
Yeah.
So one day they're out like by the pier, and they find this like rope that's going into the water, and they pull it out, and it's all these walkie-talkies. Well, the walkie-talkies were these criminals, so they could pull a job, and they could hear the police, and so they sell all the walkie-talkies to their friends, and then buy bikes, and then they become BMX badasses, and then they run from the criminals, and typical 80s crap.
Wow. So guys, I'm going to talk about a movie that I'm really excited for.
Okay.
And you guys are probably going to hate it.
Uh-oh.
Is it called Top Gun Maverick?
No, it's not.
Damn.
I'm not excited for that one. What I am excited for is Cats.
I saw the preview for this. I showed this to Billy the other day. Creepy.
Okay. So here's the thing. I did not know this was a thing until the other day.
I didn't either. Yeah.
And my friend from when I was a kid, we're still friends, met her in kindergarten, Sarah Jones, and she posted a thing on her story, and I was like, oh my God, they're making another Cats. So when I was little, my great aunt got me a VHS of Cats the musical and a T-shirt.
Was it okay? So was it like somebody filmed the play?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they professionally filmed the play.
Right.
And so she got me that because I was obsessed with Cats. And then I was obsessed with Cats the musical. I probably watched that 30 times.
Oh, wow.
And then my friend, Megan Morrison, had a full Cats costume because she was in a production of it. Like a little tiny production.
I'll be honest, I have no idea. Other than that they're like cats, I don't really know much about what the show is about.
They're trying to prove themselves as being eligible for reincarnation. What now? Oh.
He says Stu Albert Kensington.
Oh.
Stu Albert.
But so it's basically humanoid cats trying to prove that they should be reincarnated, and then one of them disappears, and then a magician shows up, and then they pull the disappeared cat out.
So it's a magic story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But so I tell my dad how excited I am, and he's like, looks freaky. I was like, Dad, it's always been freaky.
Well, yeah, it was people I can't say that word.
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah. But
cats.
let me read you the cast, okay? We have Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's tight. I'm there already.
James Corden.
I heard this, yeah.
Jennifer Hudson. Ian McKellen. Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Judi Dench. Rebel Wilson. Jason Derulo. Francisca Hayward.
Emily Watson.
I believe so, yeah. I mean, it is a stacked cast.
Of cats.
They're all going to be cats. And if you haven't seen the trailer, Rebel Wilson looks hilarious.
So okay, yeah, I forgot about. Yeah, she's like the big thing like right now. She's in a lot
great.
of shit.
She's hilarious.
I have a question.
Yes.
So this Cats was like a Broadway.
It was
production.
I think it was the longest running musical of all time or something.
So that being said, so people who couldn't afford a Broadway show didn't know what the fuck. I've never seen Cats. I don't know what it's about.
They would travel around. I mean, I'm sure they've been to Popejoy. I'm sure, you know.
Oh, I have no idea. I've never seen it live. I only saw the VHS. I think my parents did that on purpose.
So there was a media that you can watch.
Yeah.
Cats.
I think my aunt went to see it and brought back the VHS.
Oh, she pirated that shit, huh?
No.
She saw a hole in the VHS recorder.
No, she bought it at the merch table. How dare you?
I really want to see.
My aunt is a law-abiding citizen.
I do really want to see that Book of Mormon, but I don't know how to do it.
They came to Popejoy.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to pay $120.
I mean, that's what they are anywhere. I mean, that's Broadway musical.
I mean, I would assume that you could probably buy it on DVD or something.
You think so? Okay,
I think so. Or Blu-ray. I don't know whatever the media thing is.
Go to the bodega and find somebody find the DVD of somebody.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if there's like pirated versions of the Broadway play.
There might be. I mean, you never know.
They're funner in person, and also
they're funner in person.
Like, what are you talking about? $120. This is Albuquerque.
Yeah.
They're like $60 if you want to be up front.
They're not cheap though.
Yeah, they're not cheap. 60. Yeah.
It's worth it though.
I mean, $60 that buys a lot of 40s.
It
that
does.
Is true.
It does. I got to see The Lion King on Broadway, and that was cool.
I heard that was pretty amazing.
That was worth the money.
Yeah,
because they have animals that go down the aisle, and
I assume the scene changes have to be pretty amazing to watch.
Oh yeah, it's great. That's fascinating, but I don't know if I would have paid $100 and something to see Cats. I mean, maybe when I was 9, I totally would have.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't your $120.
Yeah, it wasn't my $120.
This will be your allowance for the year.
I would have been okay with it.
Aw.
That's how much I loved it.
Your parents would have been all right, well, no money for you.
I know. I used to recreate scenes and roll around the furniture in my parents' house. Just climbing things and singing songs.
Someone said the chat plays are free if you sneak in at intermission. Yeah, stop smoking.
Oh wow, that's actually that wouldn't make sense.
Nice,
because I've never seen.
What the fuck's going on?
But also, where would you sit? There are assigned seats, right?
Yeah, where would you sit? I don't know.
Who knows?
Just go to that Spider-Man one. Nobody went to that.
Spider-Man
there
musical?
was a Spider-Man musical?
Yeah, it bombed terribly.
But why? I mean, I would know. I know why it bombed, but why would they do that?
Flew too close to the sun on that one.
Yeah.
And also, there was a lot of liability. What with the acrobatics,
right?
Yeah. They basically broke the first 2 actors that they had.
Right.
Oh my god!
So
I could just see him swing, break out to the crowd,
and that was the best.
laptop.
That was the first pick.
Yeah.
And they were like, I don't think we should do this anymore.
Well, and that was no one bought tickets to it. They're like, man, I like Spider-Man on the big screen. I like some good CGI for Spider-Man.
I was stoked for it until I found out how many actors they were going through.
Oh my god!
I was like, they're just breaking their backs
Then you really
all
wanted to
over.
go.
I was like, ooh, is he gonna die tonight?
Then you really wanted to go.
I'm kind of mad at Spider-Man right now.
Oh, you didn't like Homecoming?
Oh no, I haven't seen that yet.
It's amazing.
So
it is.
Hamster's daughter.
Okay.
Or Into the Spider-Verse.
We watched Into the Spider-Verse with her.
Okay.
And she loved it, and we were excited about that. We're like, oh, good. She likes a movie that like we are enjoying. I have now seen it 25 times.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay, now
she's obsessed with it. I cannot. I can't hear Peter Porker's voice anymore. I can't.
Oh yeah, Mitch Mulaney.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Spider-Gwen, all of it. Like, I am so over Spider-Man.
But the first time you saw it was great.
Oh yeah, the first time I saw it, loved it. Second time, still great. 10th time, not so good.
I feel like the casting of Nick Cage was a very courageous but correct choice.
It was the right choice.
Yeah.
As Batman Noir.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Billy hasn't seen it.
The thing is, all I know is Chris. I was home. I was hanging out. I was cooking food, and it's like, I'm gonna go catch the new Spider-Man. It's like, oh, Into this whatever that cartoon was. Like, no, Billy, that's off like literally on Netflix right now.
Yeah, that's months ago.
And then I was like, wait, there's a new Spider-Man. It's
Right.
like, where the fuck have you been?
Do you even know who Jake Gyllenhaal is?
I know.
Mysterio? Come on.
And it has so Jake Gyllenhaal was the first Spider. Well, not first Spider.
No, he was Bubble Boy.
He's Bubble. No, okay. So there's actually you're kind of close and kind of not. So the first Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So then there was this thing that Tobey Maguire said he hurt himself while filming Seabiscuit. And so they felt that he was just being like trying to hold out for more money for Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. So they told him, they said, we'll just go get Jake Gyllenhaal. He'll do it. And they had him slated to be Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2. So then in Entourage, whenever Aquaman is, Vincent Chase, whenever he was like, I don't know if I want to do a second Aquaman, they're like, well, we got Jake Gyllenhaal right up, ready to go. And it was just literally like, that was like what had happened in Hollywood for Spider-Man. So they just kind of like mirrored it, for Entourage. That was kind of funny.
Also, the shirt I'm wearing would reflect that I'm really into Entourage.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, yeah, you do look like an Entourage fan right now. I tried to get into Entourage, and I just...
It's very broy.
It's very broy.
It's very broy.
And the thing is, if you didn't grow up with bros, or like,
Yeah.
then you're like, the fuck are these assholes?
Well, it's like Mark Wahlberg's, like, it's like based off his life.
Right.
Instead of Turtle, his friend's called Donkey.
Yeah.
And so you've got to know, I mean... What about Mark Wahlberg doesn't seem like he's not broy,
All right.
Yeah, that's why I have a huge crush on Donnie.
Oh, really?
I'm into Donnie Wahlberg like crazy.
Well, Donnie's the brother in
New Kids on the
Entourage.
Block.
Well, okay.
Donnie is actually better looking.
Oh my God, Donnie is a million times better looking.
Mark Wahlberg is just the beefed up dude. The jacked.
I just want to see him in public so I can go, Marky Mark, and he get just fucking pissed.
Marky Mark.
He gets so pissed about that, I guess.
Does
now.
he?
What's he go by now?
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
I don't know.
And the Funky Bunch.
Feel it. Feel the vibrations.
I just want to know where the Funky Bunch is now.
I know. What happened to the Funky Bunch? I love their show Wahlburgers.
I was going to say, do they have a job at Wahlburgers in the kitchen?
I don't know. No, the brother who runs Wahlburgers is the ugly Wahlberg brother.
He totally is the ugly
He's
one.
so ugly.
And the stressed out brother, because the other two are just like assholes, or like they just like fly in for the day and they're like, so what's going on? How come we don't have more of these? He's like, we just need to have a couple. Like, nah, we need them all over the United States. And he's just like,
yeah. I loved Jenny Loves Donnie, or Donnie Loves Jenny. It was about Jenny McCarthy and Donnie Wahlberg's like marriage, and they're ridiculous.
They're saying
bet that's amazing.
Donnie Wahlberg killed Bruce Willis. That is a true. That's a true statement. That's in the chat.
That is true.
6 cents.
Oh.
Murder in the First. I've only watched Wahlburgers like twice, and I just was like, I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
I don't know why there has to be like multiple episodes of that show.
There's actually an entire channel now on Pluto
Called Wahlburgers.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Pluto doesn't have good programming. They just have to figure shit out.
But
That's
why?
all they play.
There's like one old channel that's like a camera in a women's restroom.
I'm just kidding. That's not true. That is not true.
Pluto's gonna send a bad letter.
My God.
It's like, I am gonna write a letter right now.
I'm writing a strongly worded letter.
Dear Pluto's production.
Dear Mr. Pluto.
I am not happy.
I always tell people, like, I give people at Red Door a hard time, mostly Hamster, and I'm just like,
there's a Red Door channel on Pluto.
Oh, is there? When I'm at Red Door, I always am like telling Hamster, well, you know what? I'm gonna write Mr. Red Door a letter. Dear Mr. Red Door, I do not like that my boyfriend has to actually work.
I've always wanted to create a web series where somebody's like in McDonald's and they're like, these fucking nuggets are cold. You get Ron's ass out here and I want to talk to him. You bring that red fro out here. And then they pan to like the office and he's all smoking and he's like counting the money.
Oh my gosh. I have seen, if you've ever been in the service industry, you have seen so many people that are like, I want to talk to the owner.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you think the owner is here right now?
Right.
No, they're at home, like rolling in money or something.
Right, throwing ones all over the bed and rolling
They're
around.
at home beating their wife like a rich person.
like a rich person's allowed to.
Right.
Just kidding. That's terrible.
I always think it's so funny when you just see somebody who's like, I want to speak to the owner. Okay, cool.
I don't even have his phone number.
I've never even met him. So good luck with that.
You're like, okay, Karen.
All right, Linda.
This in the chat, and he warms up the nuggets with his cigarette.
Gross.
Yeah, is that warm for you?
Is that warm enough?
Ron's just a fucking piece of shit.
Are fucking tasty.
They're all smoky and stuff.
Sticks him down his pants. I'll warm them up for you, piece of shit.
Gross.
You want a quarter pounder?
You know, it's.
Oh,
and he has paint on his butt too.
I hate to give this knowledge to the general public, but if you're fucking rude at restaurants, I've done some shit to your food.
I've seen the worst things I've ever.
I saw somebody do something really, really, really fucked up when I worked at IHOP in high school. I worked there all through high school, and this guy would come in every single day and he would request like me or this other waitress and just to complain about us. Like, I don't know what his deal was, but he had the two of us that he hated. It's like, why wouldn't you request anybody else? And I know for a fact that they sprayed some cleaner on something she ate, and I never saw her again. She could have died. I don't know.
She's dead as fuck.
I have no idea.
Wow.
I have stories for days.
Oh, yeah.
For restaurants.
We only ever did dirt rolls.
I know. I would only, like, you know, I don't know. I never did anything really bad, but that one scared me. I was like, okay, that's too far.
Like, if you piss us off, we're like, well, do you just get rolls off of someone else's table?
Well, it's like the movie Waiting.
Congratulations.
The movie Waiting was absolutely right. It was like totally true. I'll tell like a medium story. I worked at a Tasty Freeze that's no longer there. It's the building's completely gone. But like you get off work at like 11. Say the place closed at 11. Well, you would have to clean the grill, you know, clean out the fryers, clean the place up. And then the manager would have to come in and like check off everything, you know. Well, so a lot of times if it was dead, you would like pre-close, you know, so you could get out like 10 minutes after.
Yeah.
So you would kind of like take the charcoal brick and you would clean the grill. And my friend, if he did that and some motherfucker came in and ordered a hamburger and he didn't have any like just sitting in the au jus gravy, he would take a patty out of the freezer, throw it in the basket, and then stick it in the fryer.
That sounds delicious. I don't see anything wrong with that.
And every fucking time, they would like come by and be like, "That's the best hamburger I ever had in my entire life."
I was gonna say that.
Wow.
I don't know. That sounds delicious. You should be frying hamburger patties all the time.
Right.
And also, it's one of those things where, like, that's maybe how you should cook hamburgers.
Right. Like, maybe if everybody loves it.
I'm all. This is not a medium bad story. This is like. I think someone just discovered fried hamburgers are the best thing.
I never had one, but they look good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And he didn't have to dirty up his grill. Or he would, like, if they ordered a grilled cheese, he would just, like, put the bread in the toaster, and then when it popped out, the cheese would come up, and he'd put it in the microwave for, like, 20 seconds.
How else do you make a grilled cheese? Come on, man.
Come on,
That's
that
how I
sounds
make 'em.
delicious.
It just sounds
You're
like you're
just
innovating new ways.
You're just giving us cooking tips right now.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude.
This is pretty much just a cooking show you have now.
I just remember we got bored
These
one
are
night.
bad things?
We got bored one night, and we fucking found a G.I. Joe in the Lost and Found, so we put it in the fryer.
Oh, God.
That's got to be toxic.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
that's
grilled
probably,
cheese.
That one might be a little bad.
Yeah. Speaking of grilled cheese, my dad, when I was a kid, would get like that was before like panini presses were a thing that poor people could have.
Oh yeah.
So he would take my mom's iron, and he would make grilled cheeses with her iron.
The hair iron, or like the iron you iron your clothes.
The iron you iron your clothes with.
That's some college shit right there.
Yeah. I just remember that, and then my mom, he forgot to clean it one time, and my mom ironed her clothes, and there's like butter and crumbs. She was so mad. She was like, "What the hell is this college? Like, are you like in a frat house right now?" And he's like, "Well, it got it done."
Flop house.
Flop house. I would say the greatest invention that came out in the college era.
I already know what it is.
What?
George Foreman grills.
George Foreman grill.
Oh my God, I loved my George Foreman grill.
Are those still around?
They
Yes.
gotta be.
Yeah.
It's like the best invention ever.
I got one for my wedding.
And he didn't
was
invent
great.
it. Like
Yeah.
he just
No.
put his name on it. Like Hulk Hogan was actually supposed to be the guy who did it was gonna be the Hulk Hogan grill, and he passed on it.
Oh, I got regrets
Wow,
that now.
and it's here to this day.
Yeah.
Now with the new and improved hinged lid.
George Foreman grills were. I mean, they came out with like a full size big one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I loved making like chicken on the door because it does it so quick and it tastes so good.
And the fat drips off into that little fat tray.
Oh, so you can drink it?
Smiley.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
At least once a show, I'm like, why is this the thing we're talking about? Ugh.
What do you do with the fat?
I don't drink it. I just pour it down the drain so I could clog it up.
That's even
Just
worse,
every
man.
day.
That is even worse.
It should be in your arteries and not in the sink.
On the sink, Chris.
I'm sorry.
You make shots out of it. Duh.
Oh.
It's so good.
I'm just kidding.
I have whole jars of different kinds of meat fat.
Do you have them labeled?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why?
This is some hoarding
What do
shit
you
right here.
use it for?
Cooking.
Well, yeah, you can make gravy out of it.
Yeah,
All
that's
kinds of
true.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's
I
and
guess. Ooh.
I guess it's no different. That it's pretty much just gravy without the starch,
Flour,
right?
The flour,
Yeah.
yeah. The
I
hot
mean,
man
I
gravy.
get it. It's just like gross to think about. You know what I mean?
but
My
when
ex-husband.
when you get it fresh, just drink it.
Oh, my ex-husband used to, like, when I would go out of town, he would use the George Foreman grill and just leave the congealed fat for me to clean up.
Oh, that's wrong.
And he would just let it layer, you know? It was awful.
Wrong, because fat. If you don't refrigerate it,
Please.
fat goes rancid,
Thank you.
and
We don't
rancid
use the-
fat is really bad for you.
We don't use the word beer bitch anymore. It's just
Beer
beer
person.
beer non-binary person.
Beer runner.
I got the last one.
Oh, you lucky.
Lucky.
So I think there's been some big news
Oh, yeah.
involving the show and
Correct.
our own kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
little Albuquerque downtown empire.
Can we? Oh, you
Our
talking?
empire.
Which thing do you want me to talk about?
Well, we did spend some time at a little small brewery,
Dialogue Brewing.
Dialogue Brewing. The thing is, Chris and I used to walk there all the time. It takes about 10 minutes, and it's literally, we're on Broadway, and the next street is First, which is which it's on. But we got so scared because we thought there was like a serial killer in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's right.
What?
And so now
it was.
And so now we'll spend the $5 to take an Uber there every time.
Well, okay. So there was a serial killer, or there is. I don't know if they caught him. There was someone killing homeless people between the age of like 30 and 45.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were like chopping off their head. Well, we heard about this, and I'm like looking online, and literally 2 blocks from our house, they found one of the bodies.
Ugh.
Right down the street. And we just got we're like, oh, fuck that, you know. But anyway, back to the thing. Back to the story.
I like serial killers though.
Oh, well, not in person.
No, not in person. I don't want to meet one.
That's something we have to work on.
It's like, oh my God, it's also like a millennial thing. It's like, yes, come through with those serial killers.
I just like true crime drama. Sorry.
Here we go. So every time like someone's like, so you do a podcast? I love podcasts. I like true crime podcasts. And it's like, is yours a true crime?
No.
I mean, kind of. I don't know.
I do like one of those. I like Morbid because they're funny. One's a coroner and the other's just her sister or friend or cousin. I forget.
Yeah.
Jason got me into it, and they laugh at the inappropriate things like I do.
Oh.
So I'm fine with it.
I was pushing on the belly, and it just farted for like an hour. So Billy, Smiley, and I, what was it, Saturday before last? 2 Saturdays ago.
Yes.
We woke up early in the morning on a Saturday, which is not usual.
I woke up at 8:30, which is unheard of.
Oh my God, that's so early.
We went and kicked Smiley's door until he woke up, drove over to Dialogue, and the brewer was like waiting on us. And like I had forgotten a card for the camera, and I was like, I have to run to my house to get it. And he's like, well, I guess you're just gonna take longer. And I could tell he was probably a little annoyed by us, but by the end of the day, we're all friends. He's a cool guy. His name's Ian. And we ended up making a brown ale.
Yep.
It will be ready Wednesday, and we are having the beer release next Sunday at 3 p.m. at Dialogue Brewing. Please come out and enjoy.
Come through.
That's right, because we actually physically helped make it.
Our blood, sweat, and tears are in this beer, literally.
And here's the thing. Like,
well, hopefully not any of our blood.
Once it comes to like mixing the ingredients, once it comes into like, oh shit, this is a very heavy bag of grain. I have to pour into this shit. You sweat, and it's really because you're cooking it. It's also like a big
it's
kitchen.
So hot in there.
Yeah,
and
the kettle
so
was like 200 degrees.
I'm telling you right now, there is no way, like, you have a beer that the brewer's like some sweat is in there.
Oh, there's some sweat.
There has to be. You know, I was going to talk
Salty.
about this last week. But we got drunk in the wavy hour.
That's fair.
No way.
Once I saw what Jason, hamster, whatever, his name's Jason. I'm done with the hamster thing. Once I saw what he does every day, all day long, I finally understood why he is so tired every day. He has to move at minimum. A light day is 700 pounds of grain.
Oh yeah,
every
man.
day.
Big sacks of grain. You're shredded. You have like beer gut, but like guns, man.
Every brewer has beer gut on top of muscle.
And
I tell
guns.
you, and guns. Yeah,
I figured that out. I was like,
yeah,
I understand now. I'm like, how are they like, but also like Superman,
phenomena like that. Yeah,
but like
phenomena.
Jason can lift like anything. It's ridiculous. And he's so hot. Like, those back rooms are so hot.
Dude, it was 200 degrees. We went and stood in the walk-in.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, like, I love beer. I love craft beer. Making beer sucks.
Oh, yeah. It's, you know what? Matt from Broken Trail.
Yeah.
Matt Simons. He was saying, you know, if you want to make beer, why don't you go home? You clean the bathroom, mop the floor, go in the kitchen, clean the kitchen, go back to the bathroom, mop the floor, go into the kitchen. It's a lot of cleaning. It's a lot of lifting. It's not fun.
No, it's 95%, like 90 to 95% cleaning.
Yes.
I went in there, and the first thing I thought, I was like, this is like working on a farm. It's a lot of lifting, and it's a lot of smelly stuff.
It's like, okay, like, I know I'm probably the only person here that's done this, but like, there were times on the farm where grandpa or dad would go and buy a truckload of like feed.
Oh
yeah,
in 50-pound bags.
Yeah, and you have to lift it.
And you have to lift it. You don't just take it and throw it. You have to lift it, go over, stack it nicely.
Has to be stacked nicely. It has to be stored in the right place.
And then another thing is like unloading a semi-flatbed trailer truck of 50-pound bales.
Okay, never done that one.
With the hay hooks. Like, I've done that. And it's, fuck, man, it's like a couple hundred bales.
I've never done that
in a day, and you're just like, I remember I helped my friend's dad asked if I could come over and help, and it took us all day, and he gave me $10.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
I just want to be like Crawl from Son-in-Law, and just go in there and as full of whimsy, and just with the 50-pound bales or like bags of grain.
Yeah.
Find in two like really like clever ways to feed the pigs with my rollerblades.
Yes.
Right. No.
I'll tell you right now, I was the daughter-in-law who had never done any farming, and all of a sudden had to learn how to feed cows and stuff. And that's a lot of work too, like lifting, like throwing the flakes of hay or whatever they call it. But I tried to find creative ways to do it, and my father-in-law just got really mad.
Yeah, they don't dig that.
No,
it's not funny and whimsical.
No, it's not fun and whimsical.
You're wasting shit, and money's being wasted. Yeah.
I tried to play fetch with the cows one time. He also did not find that funny or whimsical.
I don't, like when people are like, yeah, man, I have a farm, and it's like in the North Valley, and it's like a quarter of an acre. I always look at that and I go, you don't have a farm, man.
You have a large backyard.
You have a large garden. And I always want to go to people, man. Gardening is one thing, but man, farming sucks.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's stinky.
And it's heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking.
Yep.
Because like you grow a crop, and like I remember whenever I took Billy and Smiley out, they're like, "Wow, it's not all in one place." You can't, because if you have all of your crops in one place, and a storm comes through and hails them all out,
you're done.
You're bankrupt. You're done.
Yeah.
And you also have to give like the soil a break and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, you have to rotate. You have to learn that. I mean that's pretty easy. You just figure out where.
Did you ever go to a silage party?
No.
Oh, this is the most interesting thing I ever
Never
saw.
heard of that.
Being around farmers. So
I have a question. Can I guess what it is?
Yes. Please do.
A silage party. I'm guessing a silo is involved.
No.
And then
he doesn't know what silage is.
There's like the keys thrown in a jar.
No.
And then like there is farm people.
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of farm people.
A lot of John Deere caps.
John Deere caps.
Carhartts.
Oh, Carhartt.
And then
I have to tell, I don't understand why people wear Carhartt as like a fashion thing.
It's not comfortable.
And a lot of people with their cell phone on a buckle.
There is a lot of that, actually.
I would know that. That was not when I was around farming.
And then you just kind of rage, just kind of drinking a lot of...
I mean, you're kind of close.
Okay.
So my ex-husband one time was like, hey, we're going to go to a silage party tonight. And I was like, what the fuck is that? So first of all, there is nothing about silage that makes you want to party until you find out what goes into it. But... silage is corn that they ferment to a certain point.
Correct.
It smells like throw up, and it's good for the cows. Like, we had rodeo stock, so we would feed them silage and stuff. Anyway, so this thing, you want to talk about heartbreaking. Silage can only get to a certain pH before it will hurt the cows, okay? So farmers will take a percentage of their crop, and they're basically gambling with it. So they take a percentage of their crop, they put it in this big thing that looks like an arroyo, and they have tarps in there, and they let it ferment. Now, if they test that silage and it is too high of a pH,
throw away.
They have lost hundreds and hundreds of hours. They've lost thousands of dollars.
And what happens if the cows eat that silage?
They die.
From?
The bloat.
The bloat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these guys cannot send out this silage, and their wives are going to be mad, and they've gambled basically a third or a fourth of their crop.
Yep.
So they're losing a lot of money. So they would have this party, and my ex-husband was like, okay, let me tell you something. They're going to test this silage. And either we're all going to be celebrating, and it's going to be a great time, and everybody's going to be happy, or we're all just going to be angry drinking with the farmer.
So either way, you're getting drunk.
So either way, you're getting drunk, but it's either a fun drunk or they're all punching each other at the end of it. And the one that I went to was, thank God, a celebration, because he was going to make so much money off of that.
You can sell it to anybody who has cows. You can sell it. That's a big thing. Like within the farming community. This is farming podcast, by the way.
I just think it's hilarious that like people in rural areas that farm are kind of so. I don't want to say bored. They're not bored. They're busy.
Yeah.
But
it's
like,
what they have to celebrate. That's weird. Yeah.
That it's like a weird celebration. Also, that party is really stinky because silage smells like throw up.
So you have those, which I'd never been to because we didn't have. You're talking about like what crop is it that makes corn?
Corn.
So we didn't grow corn where I grew up. So you have those kind of parties, but then you also have a calf fry, which is a party.
Oh, I love calf fries.
And a calf fry is where...
We should let Billy guess what a calf fry is.
I want to guess what a calf fry is.
Okay.
So I imagine...
Hold on. Let's let you guess the second hour.
Okay.
Let's tease that what a calf fry is. You ruminate on it. And you figure it.
Should we spell it for him or just let him guess?
No, it's like a calf, as I'm guessing the small cow.
Okay.
Right. But hold on.
Okay.
But we'll let you guess what that is in the next hour. So, do you have anything to promote?
I do. I have my open mic tomorrow and every Monday at Inside Out downtown. It's a great time. Come out, come through. It's me and Royal and
sometimes we pop in.
Sometimes, most of the time one or two of you are here or there. Like you guys kind of trade off. It's kind of cool. Also, Brandon works there on Mondays.
The bartenders are fantastic.
The bartenders are amazing. Victoria is amazing. So come on through. It's fun. It's a good time. It's the Idiot Revolution.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it.
Okay. Billy?
Nothing. I just go on to Spotify. Tell Alexa, Alexa, play The Dirt I Settled In by Bellama. It's better with Google. I tried to do it with my sister's Alexa earlier. It's like, no, playing. No, it didn't. So maybe there's some kinks. Maybe it's not officially really on Spotify yet. But
you can probably do it on Amazon Music.
Yeah, Amazon Music. There's Spotify. There's Google Play. There's Pandora. There's Napster.
Yeah.
And there's Tidal.
Napster pays the best.
Yeah, Napster pays.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so, I was looking at just the mean of all what digital streaming services provide. And it hovers around 0.016%.
Right.
And so, with 700 listens, that comes out to 11 cents. So maybe we've
still, yeah.
But that's just on Bandcamp, as far as listening.
Right.
But also, you can buy the record on Bandcamp.
How much is the record?
The record is $3.
That's it?
Yeah, and you can pay it.
You can buy the record.
You can, go freaking buy the record.
I bought the record. My roommate bought the record.
I bought the record.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And it's so good.
I'm not really into it. I don't like it. No, I'm just kidding.
My mom tried to buy the record today. It's like, Mom, don't. Here, just have it.
You keep your $3, Mom. Your money's not good here.
You're actually responsible for this record in a lot of ways because you gave birth to me. This genius.
Oh, I thought maybe it was like some strife.
Oh no,
it's a little different. If I ever come out with a comedy album, my mom's going to be responsible for it in a lot of ways. Mostly trauma.
Mr. James, you got anything, Mr. Smiley?
Nothing upcoming. You can still find me on Snatchers, which is a web series. I've yet to find.
You haven't ever found it?
Yeah, it's out somewhere, and
I've never even heard of it other than you saying it.
The second season of Midnight Texas is streaming on NBC or on Hulu.
Okay, Next Sunday, July 28th at 3 p.m., we will be doing a live show from Dialogue Brewing. It is the debut of our 10-drink minimum brown ale. And then we're calling it an afternoon with 10-drink minimum. You can come out. I don't know if we'll do a show like this where we're in a studio and we just broadcast it, or we'll have a PA. I don't know. I might see what I might bring everything and just kind of see where everybody's at.
Okay.
I want to see if we can get the brewer on with us.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Because, let me tease this for the second hour. There was some really cool things that we learned during the brewing process. Remind me, because I will forget.
Okay.
And it had to do with farming.
Awesome.
So, is that Snatchers a horror show?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Other than that, we have a yet-to-be-set date. Keep an eye out for this. We will be doing a live show at Safe House Distilling. That was talked about this weekend. And then we have in August Hemp Fiesta.
Yes.
Do we know
As always.
Do we remember when that is? It's on our. If
the
you go to
10th. Maybe?
Yeah, it's on. You go to 10drinkminimum.com and pretty much all of our dates are on a calendar on there. If you guys want to go check, come see us live or come out and say hi while we're doing a show. Touch James because he likes that. Just walk up and just touch him.
Just pet him.
Touch him. Touch him.
Would you like to touch my smiley?
Other than that, yeah. I mean, go to facebook.com/10drink or go to 10drinkminimum.com. All of our cool social media is on there. And if you want, people always go, where do I download your show? Anywhere you can download a podcast, we are on it.
All the things.
I work tirelessly to make sure if we're not, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on Spotify. If there's podcasting and it's on something, we're there. Stitcher, all
It's on Google Play.
What's that?
Google Play.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
We are there.
Podbean.
So just go to your smart device and be like, yo, play. Let me hear the episode of the latest 10-drink minimum episode. It'll play it right there.
Yeah, Hamster, subscribe to our podcast, and every week when we have a new episode, he gets to listen to it.
Oh, and we'll also be doing the grand opening. Of the new Red Door.
Yes.
When they move into the old Blackbird location. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. We don't know exactly when that is. They haven't really announced that yet, so we don't know. But
it's going to be very soon.
As soon as they said, "Would you do this?" I said, "There's no fucking way we wouldn't want to do that." That's like a homecoming for us. So, super excited about that. But when we do that show, we're definitely going to drink, and you should as well. But always remember,
never get too drunk to jerk 10drinkminimum.com.
What's the use of fire if you can't burn a sea for all to claim? My fate was not the same as everyone is slave. Your friends turn fickle, you're to blame. The envy veers to jeers as the glass they throw it break. Walk this way, was I that incommodious? Can I plead to keep my head? My fate is not the same as everyone a slave. Unspeakable wishes, more than days, they could be better. Don't assume that I'm just way high. The world's apart, and I wanted to save a portion for us. What could be better? How do you do that? Till the place I'm back to my dream started. One day next to your skin, I'll chase it all, chase it all. Was it you? Your face is red as your hands. I've got time to walk at the end and walk with you to the corner of Richmond. Your apartment's nice, and there what we all the years that I keep away strong, there was no use crawling to the step. Unspeakable wishes, more than days, they could be better. Don't assume that I'm just way high. The world's apart, and I wanted to save a portion for us. What could be better? How do you do that? To the place I'm back to my dream started. One day next to your skin, I'll chase it all, chase it all. You hear that sound? It's the sound of you taking me back. Your eyes say no, that look is mine. The pattern said for an asshole right in your ears. Come on, just a slice of what we had. Just the same, but you're enemy a kind of ghosts floating in a maze of mine demise. Had to set for a certain kind of time machine to take me to the dawn of when we met. Chase it all, chase it all. You hear that sound? It's the sound of you taking me back. Your eyes say no, that look is mine. I'm happy sad for an asshole right in my ears. Come on, just a slice of what we had.
I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or
Oh, we are back. We are live and in living color.
Wavy hour.
I just want to. I just thought about this. I was like, we have a background that says world famous Beef and Bean podcast, and if you live outside of New Mexico, you probably have no earthly idea what that means.
What the graphic actually represents.
So there's a convenience store that is like New Mexico, West Texas, and Southern Colorado specific.
Yes.
I don't know if it's Arizona, but yeah, it's called Allsups. And I mean, they have legendary things like the Tulsup, the chimichanga, but like
no, it's the Tulsup chimichanga combo, or
right?
The burrito combo.
I'm just saying like different items they have, and then their Allsups taco sauce.
Oh yeah.
But like I would say the most iconic though is the drunken night where you go and you get a Allsups beef and bean burrito.
Yes.
And it's a fried burrito.
Beef and bean burrito.
Can I actually just give you a rundown? Because I actually got fired from Allsups. My only job I've ever been fired from.
You got fired from Allsups?
I'm sorry, I got fired twice. I worked at Allsups for months. And it was a graveyard shift. I had my fill of that menu. Like the popcorn chicken bombs hell. The freaking hot link with bread. We had to get it with, because there's a hot link, but you have to get it with bread.
I like how it's like a sausage, and they just take a piece of white bread and then fold it and put it around, and they go, here you go.
Put it with some foil.
Wow.
And that's like an item.
Yeah, and so they had tamales that you would microwave, but of course the bread and butter were the beef and bean burritos or the chimichanga.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I was okay with the burritos, but the chimichangas were just too fucking die for. And I don't know where they produce these things because the company is the headquarters is in Clovis, New Mexico.
That's right. Yeah, where I'm from. The Allsups actually lived across the street from my grandmother.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, I remember when the son like got all coked up.
Oh, so it's the last name.
Yeah, Lonnie Allsup. Yeah, I remember when the son got all coked up. This is the story I heard, and fell in the pool and drowned. I don't know how you drowned all coked up. I mean,
you just get too excited to
heroin
swim.
maybe, but you know.
No, he just got to breathe. What happened? He got really coked up. Actually, I'm speculating. I actually rest in peace, Mr. Allsup.
Yeah.
But you can be like, oh my god, I'm fucking like a god on this.
Like golden god.
I can breathe underwater. Nope.
That could happen, right? I just remember their maid would like go out and like put the Christmas lights up.
Oh, the maid would?
Yeah.
The help.
And it wasn't like a nice neighborhood. I mean, it was like, I don't know, middle class.
You know, I think about the Clovis parts because I've always been, if you're ever familiar with Clovis, there's no stop signs anywhere.
No.
So if you go to, like, say, like you're driving into Clovis, like from Portales going north.
North, yeah.
And so I'm familiar with those neighborhoods when you first get into, like, the left. And there's no signs. Like I had friends that lived there, and of course, there's Prince Lounge.
It was, yeah.
And just that kind of area right there. I guess it's that strip, right?
Yeah.
All the way up to the mall.
Prince is like the main street.
And then if you go off to the right, northeast east part, and then there was some freaking it was like wannabe Texas kind of like.
Well, you know where my parents live.
McMansion, yeah.
You know where my parents live.
Yeah.
That's the neighborhood the Allsups live in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like not, anything. I mean, it's not bad, but like, when you own like all the convenience store, like the most successful convenience stores in the state of New Mexico, you would think they would. I mean, they had a huge ranch in northern New Mexico.
Right.
Huge ranch. But like you were saying, you worked also. We kind of got off on a tangent. What were you?
Oh, so yeah. So I'm familiar with the menu. I can tell you exactly what food. And the thing is, I've been there probably in the last 6 months. It's the same fucking menu. There's no innovation to it. It's all about just what they can get. I mean, I guess it went up like maybe like chimichangas were $1.99.
They have added something. There's a fried pizza.
What?
Yeah. I saw that I was trying to get that logo today, and I saw that on their website, which is terrible. It's like the worst website. There's nothing on it.
It's all like Angel Fire or Angel City.
You know what? I went to their website because I want one of those hats.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to say right now, if you want to get me a Christmas present, an Allsups blackout hat.
Black on black.
Black on black, murdered out hat.
Yeah.
I really want one of those, but I went to their website to try and find it. can't find anything.
You have to go in the store.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too about all subs. I think with their like menu and just kind of, they're not the best convenience stores. They're kind of trashy.
They have a smell.
Yeah, it's the smell, and they all smell the same.
Like that
It's
burrito.
like Subway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells like that fucking burrito.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because they cook food in there.
Right. Well, I just
just-
remember we went in, like we were going to Clovis to do a show there, us three, and we stopped at the All Subs in Melrose because we were so excited. We're like, we got to get a burrito. And we go in, and we're like, yeah, can we have some taco sauce, the famous All Subs taco sauce? And they were like, well, we don't give it out in the packets anymore. We sell it by the bottle.
Which is bullshit.
yeah.
Which is bullshit.
That's
And so they
bullshit.
saw us. Obviously, we're not from fucking
They're like,
Melrose.
look at these rubes.
And then so we were like, oh shit.
But we did buy it.
We did buy
Oh
it.
yeah,
And then left it at my parents' house.
I
and
kinda
no,
want
we
some
we
of
buy every time.
Fantastic.
Every time we go through, I have a bottle of it in my fridge.
I just
I
remember
need a
like
bottle of that
we
also.
get fucking drunk in Portales, and Billy buys like $30 worth of Allsup's food, which
No,
is
no.
a fuckload
That's
of
a
food.
lot of food.
It was almost 40.
It was
It was
almost 40.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
my
almost
God.
$40. It was like
He's like, you want some chicken bites? All the chicken bites, a hamburger.
all of them.
And
Oh,
like,
the hamburgers they have.
They had to make. It's like, well, you gotta hold on a second because we're
Yeah.
gonna have to make some more stuff.
and like they have hamburgers there. Let me tell you this. They don't have a grill. I don't know how they're making hamburgers, honestly.
It's a microwave.
It's a microwave.
Yeah.
Is it? All right. Also, anyway,
we bought out. Billy bought out.
worst but greatest drunk food of all time.
I would say
remember-
yes. I would have easily paid $100 for all that food.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. I remember, so this is one of my jokes. I haven't told it in a long time, but I remember one time I got super sad. Like, you know when you go through a breakup and you're super sad and you just want to eat horrible food?
Fucking A.
So I went to Taco Bell and Royal had to drive me.
Because
to
you were
Taco
drunk or
Bell.
crying?
I was wasted
Oh.
and crying. And I had just gone through a horrible breakup. And I went through the Taco Bell drive-thru. I got $30 worth of tacos.
God dang.
Which, in case you're wondering how much that is, it's roughly 30 tacos.
Shit.
Then I went home and I took a bath.
In tacos?
And I ate the tacos in the bath. And Crystal had to check on me because we lived together, obviously. She heard the bath run. I was in there too long. She comes in and there's lettuce floating. I actually took a picture and tried to send it to a dude, drunk as hell, with lettuce and cheese floating in the water.
Yow.
Oh my god.
Oofta.
Oh my God.
Sounds so
It's
awful, but
it's so-
also objectively really funny.
Oh yeah, no, it's hilarious. And then so Crystal comes in to check on me and she's like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" And then
Don't
I'm
judge
like,
me.
"You're standing on my tacos." She's like, "This is literally a wrapper." I was like, "There's lettuce in there.
There's
I
still
could eat it."
food.
And she was like, "You have like 25 tacos on the counter in there." I literally, that was like the saddest thing that ever happened to me, was spend $30 at Taco Bell, took a bath with tacos, sent an embarrassing nude to somebody. And
with like little cheese and
What,
lettuce.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a regular nude and an embarrassing nude?
oh, there's a difference. When
covered
you're
in taco
when
meat and
you-
cheese.
Yeah, when you're in a bathtub and there's lettuce and beef floating in the water.
It's like a bad Suicide Girls pictorial. You're like,
and
Yeah,
my face,
no.
like I thought I looked hot.
That's the thing. Like it's always about the face. Like
Yeah.
obviously there's angles you can work with, but when you're, I would say that wasted, you're not worried too much.
Right.
You're like worried about like, okay, so is there enough cleavage or whatever
Yeah.
shit?
No, I thought I was making a sexy face, but when you've spent a night eating $30 worth of tacos, you're obviously so wasted that your sexy face just really looks like a
and you're
wasted
probably
girl.
bloated from tacos.
Yeah, and there's lettuce and beef floating in the water. It was the most humiliating night of my life, but it has turned into a great bit on stage.
So did you get a call back from that?
I did not. I did not. I
is,
got ghosted, and I'm pretty sure blocked.
This is why you don't listen to the podcast. You watch the live version, as I'm just like disgusted. I'm like,
Okay, so bath water and taco meat.
yeah. I mean, I'm disgusted because I don't have a bathtub I can fit in.
Oh, I know.
Because
Yeah.
I'm too tall.
It's so sad.
Yeah,
You know?
I fit in almost every bathtub.
and that's not fair.
Stop bragging. That's messed up.
It's messed up.
And also, I'm not supposed to be in water, so I'm okay with it.
I don't know what that means.
means like like generations of just like
Anti-water?
not even from like close to a river.
Oh, okay.
Like, we're not even river people. It was just desert. Like we're like lizards, pretty much.
You like dig a hole and water comes up. All of a
Yeah,
sudden.
yeah. It's like wells.
It's like a Toby and the Koala scene. So we teased the first hour about rural gatherings, like farm gatherings, and the first one Holly talked about was a
smegma party.
No, schmegma party. No,
Schmegma. No,
That better not
schmegma.
be the same.
a sorghum
Silent.
silage
Silage.
party. Sorry,
Whoa.
too many words that are almost the same.
Schmegma, silo, same thing.
I said another one, which was a calf fry, and
Yes.
Billy's been thinking about what he thinks what a calf fry is. What do you think that is?
A
I know
calf-
Smiley knows what it is.
No, I just you take the Latin word for. I'm just kidding. A calf is a small cow, like a baby
Correct.
cow.
Yes.
Correct.
And so it's a fry, but is it like? Hold on. So what I imagine in my head is
Okay.
that you have a calf that needs to like not be a bull.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Wow.
So,
All right.
well, with that, so you have, of course, you don't want a shit ton of bulls. You
Okay.
want whatever it turns into if you take its balls off.
Right. It's called
Right.
steer.
A steer.
A steer. And
Mhm.
so I imagine you're frying his balls.
Correct.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And
So-
it's delicious.
I'm gonna give a lesson because I've
Damn.
heard this fucked up so many times. They go, look at the bull, and I'll go, what do you mean? It's not a bull. And they go, yeah, it is. Look at the horns.
No.
If you think that a bull always has horns, you are mistaken.
Guess what? Female cows have horns too.
Correct. How do you tell if it's a bull? Well, it's got nuts.
He's got nuts and he's just jacked.
And he's jacked.
Jacked.
So when you have a lot of calves, like
His trouser snake will be dangled.
right. So when you're a rancher, which we were farm and ranch, we did both.
Yeah.
When you're a rancher, it's like farming. Farming, your yield is your money comes from your crop. In ranching, your yield comes from babies, from calves.
Yes.
So you want to have as many calves as possible. You want as many to survive as possible. And then when they get old enough, you have to go in, you have to brand them, because if not, someone can steal them. And with the brand, those are like registered with the state. And they tell you like you go and register. It's much like a patent or something. You go in and they go, okay, here's what your brand is, and this is what it looks like. Like you design it, and if they okay it, then you get to use that. And then they choose on the animal where you actually brand it, like above the shoulder, on the midsection, So there's literally like places that you have to like, go register, and you have to do that. Like it has to go right there.
I hate the smell of burnt hair.
It's terrible.
Oh,
it's
it's
disgusting.
awful.
It's very disgusting.
It's awful.
You vaccinate them. You put a tag in their ear, and the tag actually isn't for like people go, oh, a number, and they go, no, the actual thing, the tag in the cow ear, it actually has a pesticide on it that keeps flies off of them.
Or not pesticide, a repellent.
It's like a repellent, yeah, and that keeps flies off of them. Well, then you decide like what because if you leave the nuts on all the males, they'll kill each other.
Yeah.
And also you don't eat bulls. That's not a meat. Like when you're eating beef, you go buy beef at the store, you're eating a steer or a heifer.
Yeah.
And the reason why you cut the nuts off is so they don't get that testosterone and they don't get all ripped.
Yeah.
Because you want them to have like you basically want the lazy fat cow.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And that's the meat. That's the best meat.
You don't want like a beefcake.
No. So you'll have a big like you'll like if you live where we lived, you like run them all into a pen and use a chute, and you do it all. If you live up in the mountains, you rope them and hold them down, and you have a fire, and you like do it. But at the end of the day, like a lot of them, we never did this. We'd always feed the balls to the dog. But people will have a calf fry, and they'll fry them up. And
do you want to hear the first time I had a calf fry?
Sure.
You've
Sorry
had
to
cow
interrupt.
balls?
Yeah.
Oh my
I have
God,
to,
yes.
Yeah.
And it's
Fried.
delicious.
Is it in batter?
Yeah, it's like eating chicken strips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I worked at the truck stop strip club,
Ooh, truck stop, strip. I need to have like a song.
I know. So I had never heard of calf fries. I had no idea what a calf fry was. I had no idea. And so one of our regulars was like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring in calf fry tomorrow." Blah 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 blah. And I'm one of those people. I'll just eat something. Like if somebody makes something, I'm gonna eat it. So he set up a disc outside, and if you don't know what that is,
a disco.
Yeah, they take like the discs from farming equipment and they turn it into a cooking apparatus.
I'm thinking of getting one for Road to Riches next year.
I don't know what it is, but the food tastes great. Anyway, so he brought that. He set it up in the parking lot. He brings in some food, and of course I'm gonna eat it. Like I'll try anything. Yeah. It was so good, and I was like, "What was that?" He's like, "Oh, it's calf balls."
That's some calf nuts.
And you know what? After I had it, I just didn't even care. It was so good. Yeah.
And so that's the same kind of, I guess, resource for Rocky Mountain oysters.
Same thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Different, same name, yeah.
Yeah. It's about the same thing. And you know what? It's delicious.
Prepared slightly different, but
yeah.
There's a reason people eat them.
Have you ever taken sorghum and put it in your
I never did that.
Okay.
I don't know what sorghums is.
It's a feed for cattle.
We just talked about this the
not
whole
silage.
last hour.
That's a silage.
Oh, okay.
Sorghum's different. Sorghum. It is a thing for cows, but it's a syrupy, sweet like grain. Like they basically like grind up a bunch of shit, and it has like syrup in it, and it's almost like if you took like
licorice.
No. Imagine if you had like a moss. Like a mossy textured thing, and it tastes like pancakes, and you stuck it in your lip.
Yeah,
that's what it tastes
like. I did taste it, but I never stuck it in my lip.
Yeah, it tastes really good. It's a grain, but like it's a bunch of like it's a feed. So anyway, this kind of ties back into like our beer when we made our beer. I think you had left by this point though, Billy. So we're making the beer, and if you guys have never made beer is like industrial tea making.
Oh yeah,
it's really weird. Like you take all of the material, like the stuff, like the different items that you need to make in the beer, and you pour it into like the hot water, and you let it seep. You let it steep into the hot water, and then they drain the water out, and then you clean out the
tea leaves.
The tea leaves, yeah, like the excess oats and barley and all that shit, that doesn't stay in the beer. Like, just the juices of it come out, and then boom. It's weird. It's like a tea. So then we're like, so of course, like, he's like, yeah, he made us do some of the cleaning, which I'm glad he did, because I felt bad, because I think he did most of the cleaning. But, like, he had me and Smiley, like, doing this thing where we're, like
shoveling out.
We filled up, like, 5 55-gallon drums.
And where does that go?
That's where I'm going. So this is awesome. This is the best thing I have ever heard about the brewing industry in Albuquerque. And I love this. So that grain, they put them in 55-gallon drums. And
extracted of all, like, the starch. And
pretty much, yeah. They put them in 55-gallon drums, take it out in the parking lot, and farmers come, pick it up for free, and they use it as feed for their cattle.
Absolutely.
That was, like, badass. And he goes, we don't have to get rid of it. And they don't have to pay for it.
Yep.
Like, that's awesome.
It's amazing.
And he's like, pretty much every brewery does it.
Yes. And actually, I was witness to a phone call that Hamster took over at the brewery. And they were like, hey, like, can I come and get some grain? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, we already have somebody who does that.
Yeah.
And then he suggested, like, the newest brewery in town.
Yeah.
And he's like, call them. They'll give it. Because the thing is, it would cost.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It would cost them money to, like, get rid of it or whatever.
They would have to take it out to the dump.
Yeah.
And get rid of it. That's what they were telling us. And so it really is funny how, like, if you grow up in a farming community like I did, how there's so many like symbiotic relationships like that.
Yeah.
Where, you know, the brewery's like, we're going to brew this grain that we paid for, and it's going to yield this beer, and then we're going to sell the beer. But then we have this like waste. What do we do with this? Oh, farmer's like, hey, I'll take it and I'll feed it to my animals, and then I don't have to pay for it.
Right, because that stuff is expensive.
Fuck, yeah, it is.
I remember, so I used to have a Mastiff, a bull Mastiff, and he could eat a lot. And for some reason, that stupid dog, I loved him so much, but he was the dumbest dog I have ever had in my life. His name was Brinks, like the armored trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was basically just an armored truck.
Wow.
With fur. He was just dumb. But he would eat a whole bag of grain. Just steal it, just eat the whole thing, and then just get so sick.
Yeah.
And I just remember my father-in-law found out about that, and it was so expensive. Like one bag of grain was
shitloads of money.
And it was nice grain because we were, you know.
And you mainly need that shit. Like, so for us, we had a lot of free range. I mean, all of our shit was like, people always go, people get mad, like they're stupid. They're like, you had cattle? Were they like in a pen and they just lived there the whole time? I go, no. They lived out in a field and just walked around and ate. And if they wanted to fuck, they fucked. If they wanted to shit, they shit.
We didn't have that luxury because we lived in Estancia.
Yeah.
And there's a huge drought up there, so there's not enough for them
that's
to
what
eat.
You need feed for.
Yeah, because there's not enough for. But you definitely don't need it for your stupid 150-pound Mastiff.
No.
Because they can't digest it.
You guys had it better than us because, like, I mean, eastern New Mexico, it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
And so when there's no rain, you have to go to you literally have to go and buy, like, cake at the store and drive out, or in the wintertime when there's no, the snow is covering the ground, or get a hay bale.
Yeah.
That's the other symbiotic thing. Is, like, if you, like, plant hay and then it almost always like yields way more than you need. Mm-hmm. And the problem with that is like it'll ferment and sometimes it can catch on fire. Like it can bust sometimes.
It's the same chemical compound. So when you say fermenting, I always think about like they'll eat it and it'll get them drunk. Or
but if you have too much, like it's not good to like have it extra. So what you do is you sell it and people will come. They're like, yeah, hell yeah, how much you want a bale? And they'll come by. Like, I'm talking like the big, like circular bales.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
not bale, like not the rectangular bales.
Yeah. And almost always someone, I mean, unless you're just being a dick and selling it for way too much, almost always someone will come and buy it. Because, like, they didn't plant any. And, like, it's so good. Like, there's two things it's good for in the wintertime. Like, because what you do is like, we had a truck that, like, it didn't have the bed on it. It had, like, these two, like, a fork on the back. And it was hydraulic, and it would pick a bale up and then lift it onto the pickup truck. So then we drive out and where the cows were, and then you like pull like it was really interesting like how it worked. Like
the engineering marvels. I'm hearing right now.
So like it's like and I don't know if like this is a thing. I just know we had it. And so like you drive out there, it's on the back of your truck, and then like you hit the hydraulics and it like lifts it to the ground. And you keep the hydraulics, like you keep the fork on the bale, and you get out and you cut the strings on the bale, and then you start driving, and it would unravel because it's rolled, the bale is. And they come running, and it's good for two things. Like if it's the wintertime,
insulation,
they can eat it or they can lay on it.
Oh, shit.
Wow. It's crazy to think about these things because, one, do you think anyone who's never been a farmer would want to be a farmer?
I wouldn't. It's a really
It's hard.
So I love the life. Honestly, like as I got older, like when I was a kid, I hated it. Mm-hmm. Like now, I feel like I enjoy. I had a blue collar job. Like right now, I don't have a blue collar job. I have a very white collar job. But about 9 years ago, I had a blue collar job working for a company that had gas stations, and there was times where you were like jackhammer and bust shit up and load a truck, and it was tough, but I liked it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was in really good shape. Like I didn't have to work out.
Yeah.
I was in hella good shape.
It wears you out.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, like I would say, like as far as the economy of farming,
it's terrible.
Is reliant on people who were born into it as opposed to somebody wanting to do it.
If you wanted to do it, it'd be really tough. Yeah. It's very expensive too. And because you have to have equipment, and so it's like one of those things where it's kind of a generational thing. It's kind of tough because like I don't know how you would. You guys saw like the kind of saw a little bit of it. Like that tractor that we had, that little one.
Yeah.
Like that we had three tractors. That was our little one. and we had like a medium-sized one. They had one that was like fucking 8 wheels that would drive over a car. I mean, that's like $100,000, piece of equipment.
And to see how volatile like it could be in a way that if say fucking shit gets hailed on, then you're bankrupt.
Yeah. So
you have insurance and you have farm loans and
if you get it,
grants and stuff.
It's a gamble. Well, the insurance thing is a gamble.
Yeah.
Because like you have to like we would insure one field.
Yeah.
Because it always fucking hailed out, but every fucking time we insured it, it didn't. And then every time we did it, it did. I mean, actually, it didn't hail out. It would rain out.
Yeah.
Like it would come a flash flood and just ruin it.
Well, and that's the other thing too is like if it gets too much water or not enough water or the temperature is wrong. And let's talk. I mean, really, like when people are talking about global warming.
Yeah.
Okay. Farmers are also like super affected by this, not just the polar bears on icebergs,
right.
I mean, which is sad, but global warming is changing what people are able to grow in their area. So
that's
like here
true.
in New Mexico, things are changing.
Yeah.
We're growing things that we wouldn't have grown
like
before.
Cotton.
Yeah, because things are changing. We're getting more rain. We're getting less rain. Where it's hotter, or maybe it's colder in the winter,
I would
or
say
whatever.
Where I grew up, eastern New Mexico. I mean, you have different kinds of farming. You have dryland farming and you have irrigation farming.
Right.
And irrigation farming is very expensive, but you have a better chance and you have a higher yield, but it's very expensive. So we were dryland farmers. So you just literally gamble on the weather.
My great grandpa grew peanuts out there.
Oh wow. That would be Portales area.
Yeah, that's exactly where they live.
Sunland.
Because
rest in peace.
Goober Flats, is what people call it because of peanuts. Yeah. Where I lived, like it never rained, and so you had to plant crops that just kind of were like resistant. They could grow with like very little water, and then now it rains all the fucking time.
Yeah. Things have changed. Patterns are changing.
I told my dad, I was like, "You imagine farming now?" He's like, "No." No,
thank you.
I don't know how my dad didn't die of a heart attack from just like stressing out
I
about
wonder
not raining.
if the Farmer's Almanac has changed with how crazy
like as much as there's, I would say farmers, there's a higher percentage of conservatives who don't believe in climate change.
Yeah.
They do not.
I want to kind of say a little bit about that. So where I grew up, like people talk about like they don't give a shit about the environment. There definitely is. Like there's like soil conservation. Mm-hmm. So in
Dust Bowl.
In the 30s and 40s you had the Dust Bowl. So the Dust Bowl was caused by people farming the same land over and over and over again, and a lot of it had to do with the plow called the one-way. The one-way plow would kill the shit out of weeds, but it would also fuck the topsoil up and move it, and then it would blow. And you definitely don't want topsoil is like your most important soil. And so they banned the one-way plow.
Yep.
And if you got caught using it, it was a hefty fine. So also when I was growing up, like I plowed a lot. I was a plow boy. Mm-hmm. I'd get up in the morning and I'd go out and I'd get in the tractor. I was terrible at it though too because I have very bad ADHD. So going straight is very boring to me. And my dad was like, "Yeah, you were really bad at it." He's like, I don't know. Like my dad could fucking plow a straight line. You could get a ruler out, like put it down there, and it's like perfect. Me, I'm like, because I'm like fucking driving like this.
And you were listening to like music?
Oh, all the time, yeah. But it was like AM radio because that's all I had.
Oh,
but
y'all, this is my favorite Beatles song.
But here's the thing: if it's windy, which Eastern New Mexico is super windy.
Oh yeah.
If you're out plowing and there's and you can see people doing it. If you look off in the distance and you just see a dirt, like, straight line up in the air of dirt.
It's like a tornado?
Kind of. Not really, but, like, kind of like, not a straight line, but kind of like an angled line. Like, you could tell someone's out there plowing and the wind is blowing the topsoil. There's actually, like, soil conservation police.
Yeah.
That will drive out and go, "You need to get the hell off the tractor. Stop. Or we'll fine you."
Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's a big thing. And, like, there's a lot of, like, counteracts of insects. I mean, it's a really interesting thing. It's not like just, I mean, it's rural, and it's like, you think rural dumb people, but there's a lot of technology involved. It's insane.
A lot of technology, a lot of science, a lot of
chemistry.
Yeah.
They make tractors now that are drones. Like, you don't actually fucking plow. Like, it goes on its own.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's not going to fuck up the line.
Right.
No. I was so pissed.
They don't need Chris anymore.
First of all,
for
I'm pissed
stuff.
about this. But no, when I was younger, they did have a thing that was like we didn't have this because that was expensive, but they had tractors that had like a little kind of a radar thing.
Oh yeah.
They could tell you how far away, and it would line, like if you were not lined up, it would tell you, kind of help you line it up. Of course, we didn't have that.
What's going to happen is I'm going to go to a farmer. It's like, hey, what's up, guy? Have you heard of paid vacations?
No.
You ever heard of...
They've never heard of paid vacations. They've never heard of a day off. They've never heard of sleeping in.
What you're not understanding, too, is you're not understanding, the pay. Like, you don't get paid every 2 weeks. You don't get paid every month. Mm-hmm. You get paid twice a year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I remember when I first...
whenever you harvest, when you yield.
Yeah. When I first moved in with my ex-husband, we were dating. I had never been around cows. I thought it was a joke. You know what I mean? Not a joke, but I was like, what is all of this? And his dad took it so serious. Yeah. And I was like, they're just animals. Like, you feed them and you love them and you play fetch. I tried playing fetch with them, and you can watch the bulls. You can watch the bulls play King of the Hill. They'll do this thing. If there's a mound of dirt, they will push each other off of it, and they'll play. And it's kind of cool.
Till they're older, and then they'll kill each other.
And then they kill each other. But I, didn't get it, right? I was like, why is he so crazy about this? Each one of those bulls was worth $10,000.
Easily, yeah.
And that was at the low end. That was like if you're barely making it, because these were not for eating. They were rodeo stock.
There's that.
Well, that's what we had.
But I mean, there's also so if we had a bull, I mean, what you're gambling on with cattle is you're gambling on genetics.
Yes.
And so you look at this bull and you go, man, or you look at this calf and you're like, this one looks like he has good genetics.
Yeah.
So let's make him a bull so that he has good calves, and then we could sell him for a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. And then, sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish your thing.
And then you would have, we had this one crazy cow that she would escape, all the time. She was an escape artist. No, hold on. She was an escape artist, and I was like, why do we keep her? She bred the best bulls. And she was so tiny, and you wouldn't expect it from her, and she was crazy. But that's what you want with rodeo bulls.
Okay.
You want them to be crazy, and you want them to be stacked. You want them to be big and whatever. Yeah. But there was so much, riding on all of it, and my father-in-law would be so stressed out, and I was just like, this is crazy.
Well,
why would you do... And he had another job, so this was his hobby. Okay, this was not his livelihood. This was his hobby. But he was so crazy about it, and I would just be like, why are you so crazy? He's like, because I've invested so much money in this that if I don't make money off of these, I've wasted pretty much my retirement on it. That's crazy.
Well, and for us, we had one that would jump. Okay, if they jumped across the cattle guard. You know what cattle guard is? Yeah. Then you took them to the sale and you sold them.
Right.
Because they've learned they've beaten the illusion. You know what I mean? They've beaten the illusion.
Well, that one's a rebel. It might teach the other ones.
Correct. Yeah.
Exactly. Actually,
and they would, man. You'd watch them jump it, and you're like, oh, damn it. So with the bull thing, is it's really interesting. It's such a gamble. There would be these bulls that were legendary. You've heard of artificial insemination.
Oh yeah. It's it's all selective breeding.
It's big time.
They have a catalog where you can order bull sperm.
Yeah, comes in liquid nitrogen.
You
put a big glove on, it comes up to your shoulder.
And you have a straw and you shove it up in there.
That's correct. Yeah.
Gross.
So
but that's if I'm gonna get my nuts.
Terrible.
Here's my question. Like, actually, it's a bad question, but the imagery itself is actually really problematic. So they're just jerking off bulls all day?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's bulls that have been dead for years, and they still have their semen frozen. And, like, the best thing is, like, looking through these catalogs is, like, their name. They're, like, Rambo 3, Sugar Daddy 4, you know, and it's like these, you know, crazy names. And, like, you're looking at the statistics, and they're like, his scrotal circumference was this. And you're like, is that good? I don't know if that's good or not.
I mean, a rancher would know if that scrotal circumference.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is, like, these guys spend so much time worried about scrotums and balls and I don't know. It was a weird life, and I'm glad that I got a peek into it for a few years.
Yeah.
I think I learned a lot of things. I learned to really appreciate the meat on your table.
Well, and like when you order, like what people don't understand is, like, you know, are you going to order, like, how many cattle are you going to inseminate? Well, like, you're really only going to do like one round of it, and then you're hoping that, like, one of your cows sires a really amazing bull off of that. Mm-hmm. And then
you have that bull.
Boom, you've got that bull, and then he has children. I mean, it's a really crazy generational thing.
It's a cool life that most people don't get to see.
But you don't get paid. You get paid.
It's a passion.
You get paid, like, farming. You get paid about twice a year if you do 2 crops. But that's why we also did ranching, because then you also have you get paid another time of the year for, like, selling your calves. You know, you go take them to the slaughterhouse. You know, basically,
right,
or just to the sale. But, like, literally, like, there's, like, you're not getting paid every 2 weeks. You're getting, like, a $30,000 check.
Yeah, and that's going to be my problem because, one, if I get a $50,000 check, I'm spending it that weekend.
Right.
We're talking, like, New York City, Atlantic City, gambling.
What?
But no, it's a culture. I'm not. The thing is, like,
you realize that's how teachers get paid, right?
So
they get paid by the semester.
Yeah, but I say all that that's hard. When my grandfather passed away, he was worth his net worth was $1 million. You know?
Oh shit!
Yeah, as a farmer,
you know, it's. I don't know. I like it when we get all rural because I think, honestly, a lot of people don't get to see the passion or the faith or the vocation that goes into it. Like, people think I'm crazy for doing comedy, but I get paid every time I go on stage.
Yeah.
You know, so is that really as crazy as, like, somebody putting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into something they don't know if they're going to make money on?
They're hoping.
I don't know.
There was an ostrich ranch near Tucumcari, and ostrich meat, like, people eat ostrich burgers. It's kind of a thing. It's like, it's a deal. And this guy had a huge ostrich farm, and they caught some disease, and every one of them died. And that dude killed himself. It was like, wow. Because he was just like, there was nothing, he was.
Yeah, just like the viability of, like, hoping that your fucking shit's going to turn out that year.
Yeah.
But also, isn't there, like, a farming community that kind of maybe will help them out in a way?
Really. Not really. As much as you think. I mean, there's a symbiotic, like I said. Well, I don't know. Where I came from, there's a lot of, like, it's cutthroat. It's a little cutthroat, and, like, they kind of hope you fail so they can buy your land.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would just love the cheese mate. I would just love to be a fly on the wall of somebody who.
There's a lot of that.
To just, like, go into church that Sunday. It's like, oh shit, like, I'm done.
You know where you hear all the cheese mate?
The Trading Post.
No, coffee in the morning at any diner near farmers.
Or if there's no diner, the feed store where they have coffee.
Oh,
yes, big time.
They will all sit around and they talk so much shit. That was my favorite part of living where I lived with my ex-husband.
If it rains, they're all of them.
They'll all just show up to
Yeah.
the feed store in the morning for some reason. They're not buying anything.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stand here and drink some coffee.
Well, we would do that. We'd go to Bailey's. Was the
you took me to that.
I took you to Bailey's, and we would go there. And when I was a kid, and like if it was raining, we'd go to Bailey's.
You bought me a Sprite. Your dad bought me a Sprite.
My dad would buy me a soda, and then some sort of like shitty, not candy, but like the donut. What do you call like the croissant? I don't know what do you call like
pastry.
A bagel.
Pastry. That's the word. Pastry. And literally, I would just hear the gossip, gossip all day.
That was my favorite part because obviously, hello, have you met me and Chris? We love cheese may. I would sit there and just get a cup of coffee and listen to all the cheese may. I knew whose husband was making money that year.
Oh, yeah.
Whose husband was cheating.
Going on vacation. I mean, just little stupid things.
Oh, yeah.
Going on vacation. Year they went to Disneyland.
And that's how boring it was. Like Real Housewives of Farming. It was Real House Husbands of Farming.
Of Estancia.
Like as soon as you said it,
Real House
exactly
Husbands of
going.
Estancia.
Like we just didn't have a restaurant. We just had, but anywhere there's like coffee.
Oh, yes.
It's because it's like a macho thing.
It's a psychoactive, and also like now you're spouting off like what you're.
And then the wives would have these little get-togethers. Like usually it was a Tupperware party, and I was like, "Are we still doing Tupperware parties?" I mean, I guess I'll go.
Or whatever.
Is it Mary Kay?
Yeah, there was a Mary Kay. There was Scentsy. There was Tupperware, and like if you don't go to these, you were like an outcast of the wives. So I would always go.
You're probably a whore.
You had to go. And you would hear these women were so mean to each other. They were vicious.
Vicious, yeah.
And I was like, what is going on? Like, they would make up rumors about people. Oh, it was, they would plot them.
And they all, like, hang out and be friendly.
And they're all friendly. Yeah.
Like, at church. Like, church, right?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
But there was a lot of, like, backhanded, like, insults.
Oh, yeah. Like, oh, bless her heart.
So do you think we'll be seeing your parents in church this Sunday?
Yeah.
Or it'll be just like normal?
Or my favorite is people would be like, so are you and Dustin getting married this year? Or are you still going to live in wedlock?
Yes.
Yeah, you still living in sin.
You guys going to live in sin for a while.
Are you shacking up?
Oh, and then it'd be like this. They'd be like this. They'd be like, well, what has Ruby been to church in a while? And they'd be like, well, her husband cheated on her.
Oh, yeah.
That, right.
Like, oh my God! Like the thing is, like as awful objectively as this is, you two would be like, "Oh shit!
Oh shit!"
Texting each other.
Yeah, we'd be like, "Chris, did you hear the cheese make? Her husband's cheating. She's not gonna be in church."
It's
like I saw her at the Prince Lounge with this colored fella.
She was wearing leopard. I don't know why any woman would wear leopard.
When I was growing up, like I lived in Clovis.
Maybe cheetah.
I lived in Clovis, and my grandparents lived like in Broadview, like north of Broadview, which was like 30 miles away. So my grandmother, like she would babysit us sometimes, and she would come pick us up, and she would drive us out. Every single time, we would drive by this like trailer house, and she'd be all, "That's where that white woman lives with that colored fella."
Oh my God!
Every single time.
You can't get away from that. But yeah, Billy, like Chris and I love the cheese may. We were made for these little tiny communities.
Yeah, right.
Because I would just soak it up. I don't like people being mean to each other, but I will listen to it and I will enjoy it. But if we had been friends back then, it would have been like, Chris, did you hear that cheese may?
The other grandma thing she would do is like, how you see like a pickup truck and they have the bench seat?
Yes.
And like a guy's driving with his girl. My grandma would be like, I don't know if I'd want that pickup truck. Takes two people to drive. Because like they're like together.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's
a pretty good one.
That's a really good one.
I like
very witty.
I thought it was fantastic because it was just fucking vitriol. It was like virus. It was like blah, like pissed. Or she wasn't pissed. She was just.
That's pretty much the opposite of my family. I don't know about Navajos. We don't talk really.
I don't know if I want that drug.
The thing is, it's funny because I went to my family, like my nephew's birthday party.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so I don't know if it's necessarily like a cultural thing, but my sister pretty much made it known that like we never told you shit.
Yeah.
Like I was always in.
They never told you?
Yeah, never told me.
Well, you're like like you don't like Cheesemay.
I do. The thing is, Cheesemay is hilarious and meme-wise.
Yeah.
But I don't like to hear about things, and I think
I know. I don't know why. To me, it's just like ooh.
You don't like to hear about things. Chris and I think that's everything our friendship is made of.
Oh, I know. I'll
oh my
see,
god!
Like
my girlfriend is all about that shit
Oh,
too.
shit, yeah.
And the thing is, she's like, oh my god, her someone's like, I don't want to fucking hear it.
He doesn't, and he's like,
It's so weird.
and it's like, and she's like, Billy, this has to do with your friends. But whenever so for some reason my Instagram doesn't do push notifications to my phone. So I look at it a lot. If I look up and I see there's a message, I'll go, oh shit, I hope that's Holly. So I'm like, she's gonna tell me some shit.
That makes me happy.
Oh yeah, I
get happy.
Oh yeah,
and I do feel that there's definitely a just like a culture between our friend group with all the the juicy shit.
Oh yeah.
And Shelby is in that with Chris, but not me.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Like she's in New Zealand, and I'm like, oh my god, guess what?
Did you hear? So I literally, whenever I hear something good, and I hear a lot of good things.
I do too.
And we're like the two people that I won't go and tell everybody, but I tell Chris because I know it's safe. He's not going to be vindictive. He's not going to be mean.
No.
And so I will message him as soon as I wake up. It'll be 8 a.m. on a Monday. Just
and also,
my God, did you hear the Cheesemay?
And Billy's seen this. People will just tell me shit that they should not tell me.
They should never tell me.
They confide in Chris so willingly. And even it's not even just you. It's our friend groups that just
you have a safe face.
Yeah.
All right.
No, but I will say keep telling me Cheesemay because it's safe with me.
Yeah.
But anything you don't want Chris to hear, don't tell me.
That's true. That's fair.
Chris is the only person I'm like, oh my God, Chris, did you hear?
And all it's doing is it's coming to me, and I'm just like, yes. And I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And then we talk amongst ourselves. And then that's it. It never goes anywhere past me and Chris.
I'm pretty sure I did that last week.
Yeah. I'm over here knitting. I'm all, huh.
Did you
You don't say.
You don't say.
I would actually say that in some ways, brunch was invented for Cheesemay.
Oh yeah. That's what brunch is.
Let's go have some mimosas and a waffle and some fruit and talk about some things.
It's not about just having a
meal.
weekend's, for happy meal and catching up. It's all about Cheesemay.
Oh yeah,
that's what brunch was made for.
Oh yeah, that's why I love brunch.
if I'm low on Cheesemay, I'll watch my MTV stories and then I'll tell Billy. About it. I'll be all, did you hear about Slednex? I was watching Slednex the other day.
Oh yeah, that's why I watch Real Housewives. Because sometimes I get low on my Cheesemay and I need fake Cheesemay. I just need that fix. I just need to hear some Cheesemay, or I need to watch some Cheesemay go down, and then same thing with Crystal.
Because that's a Sunday afternoon at church, where they're you're having that potluck, and well, where's Sarah? Well, she's pregnant out of wedlock, so she's probably at the doctor.
Oh my God. No, Crystal, I got Crystal into Real Housewives, and I never thought it was going to happen, because if you've ever met Crystal, she's into horror movies, and she's kind of gothy, and she's real quiet. So I made her watch it with me one time. And the only reason we enjoy watching it together is because we get to watch this fake Cheesemay that has nothing to do with our lives.
You don't even know these people.
And we just sit there and we'll be like, oh my God, can you believe that? Did you see that? And then we'll look them up on the internet. I do this more than she does. And I'm like, oh my God, this show was 5 years ago, but now she divorced her husband.
And had plastic surgery.
And her husband was still married, and his wife didn't know he was seeing her until she posted on Instagram. Can you believe that?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, just being a part of Cheesemay culture.
Yes.
Is it possible that you search it out if you're looking for the most train wreck friend?
Yes.
To keep up your insatiable need for Cheesemay, or do you just go on TV?
I don't even. Okay, being part of Cheesemay culture, Albuquerque Cheesemay culture
is pretty juicy.
It's pretty juicy. I feel like when the Cheesemay is good, I have the best friend group for Cheesemay because I hang out downtown. I'm with comedians. Comedians are train wrecks. Like, let's be real.
I hung out with you guys one time, and I never came back.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. When I was single, I would go on dates with people that I knew wouldn't work out because I knew there would be a joke there. Like, I was joke harvesting. And if I didn't get a joke out of it, joke mining, if you will. And so, and I feel like that's how all comedians are. Like, we're just like, we're train wrecks, and I love hearing about it. But then all of us have train wreck friends also. So then I get all the cheesemate, and by Monday morning, I have like 30 paragraphs to send Chris.
Yeah. So I went on a date last night.
Ooh.
And it was amazing, by the way. So she listened to our show to make sure I wasn't a comedian.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's like, I will not date a comedian. I was
Smart
like,
lady.
They're pretty broken.
Smart lady.
And she's like, yeah. So I was just worried that you were a comedian.
Smart lady. So I one time Googled dating a comedian. Please don't ever let Jason Hamster Google that.
No.
Because it's literally like there was an eHarmony article that's just like dating a comedian is really difficult. First of all, they're very they're like yes, they're funny, but is it worth it? I don't know. And then they talk about how like we will make fun of you in our jokes, which is, I mean, yeah, we will. And then like we're always broke. Yeah, that's true.
Till you're famous, then you're not. Ooh.
Right? Like maybe invest in us and support our career, and then we'll be offered $70 million for a comedy comeback like Eddie Murphy. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Eddie Murphy was offered by Netflix reportedly $70 million for a comeback because he hasn't had a comedy special in years.
I feel like Eddie Murphy's time is way over.
I don't think so. Here's the thing about Eddie Murphy.
Oh, I do.
I think Eddie Murphy, he got tired of comedy. I think that's really what happened. I think he got tired of comedy.
I think he got out of touch of it.
He got out of touch, whatever. But then he did the movies and all this stuff. Here's the thing. I mean, say what you will about Eddie Murphy. He
was fucking amazing.
He's amazing. So I think if Netflix...
You shouldn't have brought this up.
What are you doing?
If Netflix offers him $70 million to come back, you know he's going to kill it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the thing is...
It's going to light a fire under his butt.
All right.
I want him to come back.
Pretty much an integral part of my childhood.
Oh,
right.
Oh, no. Hold on. Tell how. I gotta hear this. How old are you? 36.
I'm 38.
All right.
You know what the best movie, objectively of all time? Coming to America.
Okay.
Right.
Let's.
I'm not going to Raw days. I'm talking.
No. Raw. Hold on. Back up farther. Eddie Murphy. When I was a kid.
Oh, God. Are we going to have a debate?
My neighbor.
Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood?
My neighbor had the fucking Eddie Murphy Delirious tape.
Yeah.
And we would act like we were playing basketball outside. And we would listen to Eddie Murphy Delirious. Which was fucking amazing. But also, if you listen to it, it doesn't really hold up. As in, like, it's pretty fucking rough.
Right.
And then when Raw came out, we're just talking about stand-up. We're not talking about the movies and all that shit. She's talking about stand-up. Eddie Murphy Raw also doesn't hold up, but when it came out,
it was amazing.
It was the mount. It was the what's the fucking largest mountain in the world?
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest to fucking stand up.
So here's the thing: Eddie Murphy's Raw was the first stand-up special that I remember watching because everybody was so excited. Like, it was going to be great, and it was going to... And it was so good.
Yeah, there was a vinyl I listened to.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard Eddie Murphy's Raw? I've never... And the thing is...
Have you ever heard Delirious?
No.
Delirious is amazing. Like, Eddie Murphy is a comedy genius. You can say whatever you want to say about Eddie Murphy. He also voices the best sidekicks in cartoons. Come on. He was Shrek's donkey. He was Mulan's dragon. He's hilarious. When I saw this, I got in an argument with a friend of mine who is not a comedian, who does not love comedy. And they were like, well, did Eddie Murphy even earn $70 million? I'm like, look, that is an unbelievable amount of money. That is an unbelievable amount of money.
Not to Eddie Murphy.
But, first of all, Eddie Murphy, he doesn't need money.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's
he's
why
fine.
Haunted Mansion probably paid for
that's
his...
why, that's why I don't think he's got it in him.
But I think he does. Here's the thing.
I think he does too.
I think that if he does it, I don't think it's going to be about the money. It's going to be about, this is how much people want to see me do comedy.
Right.
Yes.
And as a comedian, I have done shows simply because somebody was like, hey, my audience has requested that you come and do this show. That will make me do anything. I'll do it for $1. I don't care. I'll do it for one free beer. I'll do it for water.
Yeah.
Like, for a comedian, it's like, oh, they still want to see my stand-up, and he hasn't done anything in years. I think he still has it in him, and I think he's going to kill it. If he agrees to do it, he's going to kill it.
But he has to get rid of the family persona that he tried to pull off.
Oh, he's going to get rid of that. He's going to get rid of that.
Here's why I don't think he'll do it. I think he'll do it, but I don't think he'll do well. Here's why I don't. Because I listen to Jay Moore's show sometimes, his podcast.
Right.
And he did Pluto Nash with Eddie Murphy. Mm-hmm. And
love that movie.
It's a terribly good movie. It's like not good, but anyway.
It's like so bad it's good.
So
yeah,
Jay Moore tells a lot of Eddie Murphy stories. And one of them was he went up to Eddie Murphy and he was quoting Eddie Murphy jokes to Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy goes, "That's a great joke, man." He's like, "That's really good." And he goes,
"It's yours."
Yeah, it's yours. And he didn't remember.
I mean, here's the deal. I'll tell you right now. The other night, okay, when I did comedy in Santa Fe, this is like some inside baseball, but I did some comedy in Santa Fe, and somebody brought up something when they opened the show, and it made me change my whole set. It reminded me of a joke that I wrote 4 years ago that I haven't told in 2 years.
But you remembered it.
But I forgot that I even had a joke about a stripper with rabies. That is comedy gold, and I forgot I wrote it. So could you imagine all those years? You wouldn't remember all your jokes.
Okay, but then second thing is when they did the big like Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary.
Yes.
He came out and did nothing.
Nothing.
I mean,
nothing.
What? He was just all.
He just basically was like, you could tell if he does come back and he does kill it.
But a Netflix special is so much bigger.
And he's got a lot of work to get there.
There's not even a lot of work. It's like there is people who study him, people who idolize him, who I will write a fucking joke for Eddie Murphy and he'll prove it.
I mean, there's that too.
It does work. He does, like, he'd have to go, like, to clubs and, like, get it back. I mean, she knows, I mean,
I took a year off from. I took 6 months off from comedy when I was going through cancer. Okay, and that was rough. Coming back was awful.
He hasn't done stand up and.
So I mean, there's a lot of work, but I think he'd be willing to do it. And if he puts the work in, I think it'd be good.
Did he say yes or did he say no?
I don't know. We don't know. But
just an offer.
I want to see him kill it because I want to see one of my heroes come back and say, "Fuck you, I got this." And I think his take on our culture right now is what we need.
Well, number 3 of reasons why I don't think he would do very well. He's not hungry. He doesn't. He's rich. He's out of touch with the common person.
Yeah, but he probably misses the stage.
That's also fair. It's the same like symptom you have like if you're like working so hard to get a contract in athletics.
Okay, I get it, but look at Dave Chappelle.
True. That's a fair point.
Dave Chappelle was not hungry, and when he got those Netflix specials, he came out fucking swinging.
Yeah,
very true.
Those specials were amazing, and he wasn't hungry.
He sort of was. He gave most of his money to charity.
No, but he wasn't hungry though. He even said in the special.
Yeah,
he even said in the special that he didn't give a shit about that stuff. He was not hungry.
Have you seen the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, Tracy Morgan?
Yes, I love Tracy Morgan. He's my fave.
Like Roseanne's comeback.
Oh well, Roseanne's done.
Yeah, she's just crazy.
Tracy Morgan is another great example of somebody who came back and he wasn't hungry. He got hit by a Walmart truck.
And he has a mega
like he literally,
like no one knows how much he's worth.
He literally talks about in his special, he's like, I would go into Walmart, just see those rollbacks go up a little bit after my lawsuit.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't hungry.
No, his house is insane.
A lot of comedy, as much as people like to talk about people who you know, we're poor and we spend a lot of years being really poor. Right. But at the end of the day, you don't choose to do comedy to be famous and rich.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. You do comedy because once you get that laugh, it's like heroin for the rest of your life.
I mean, I have to agree with that because for you, comedy is that. For me, this is that.
Right.
Like if I had $1 billion and I literally had no need to work, I would have this and I would do this.
Yep.
You know, and it's interesting because like I'm talking to somebody who used to do this a lot, and they're like, I have that addiction. I have to get back to it. You know, and
if I go a week without doing comedy, I am the grouchiest person on the planet.
Same with this.
Yeah.
And I'm already like talking about like starting another show. So, because I just need more.
Yeah.
And it's funny though, the Tracy Morgan one though, when Jerry Seinfeld drives up to your house and goes, "Wow,
yep,
you got some money from Walmart."
Tracy Morgan. So I have to say this, and then we can stop. But you brought up Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
So and the Saturday Night Live 40th, the 40th year anniversary, when of Saturday Night Live, a lot of us didn't know if Tracy Morgan was ever going to get on stage again.
Yeah.
Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin got on stage, and it was like right before or right after the memoriam thing with like Chris Farley and all of them. And I just remember crying so hard thinking he's never going to come back. He's never going to come back. This is going to be horrible. Like, how can we do this? Like, we all thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
You know? And I just remember thinking, oh, God, like, when Chris Farley died, I was like, oh, God, like, I'm never going to laugh again. But to think that you got hit by a Walmart semi and that ruins your career.
And they said that it was your fault because you weren't wearing a seatbelt in a limousine.
Right. And so I remember when it was announced that he's doing a Netflix special, I lost my shit. I stayed up until midnight, watched it. Like, it's not like it's hard for me to stay up till midnight, but I literally waited for his special to drop, and I have never cried so much during a comedy thing ever.
I have a good Tracy Morgan story.
Yes.
And I've never met Tracy Morgan, but I was talking about the blue collar job I had earlier where I worked for a company that had gas stations. My boss was a guy who basically moved out here from New York, and he was a production guy on Saturday Night Live for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And he was a breakaway specialist. He made the coffee table that Chris Farley went through.
Right.
And he was like, he's like, when you do that, he's like, you make
at the river bit, like the
you're living in a van down by the river.
And he like flips and smashes through the table. He goes, you actually have to make 3 tables.
Yeah.
He's like, you make one for dress, you make one for the show, and you make one just in case.
And it was just probably like balsa wood.
Yeah, it totally balsa wood. But like they would make walls that like when someone had to bust through a wall.
Yeah.
And he's like, the secret is like, you make the wall, and then you bust through it, and then you put it back together. You glue it back together, then you paint it.
Yep.
And then boom, they bust through it. And so he was a specialist. Anyway, I was like, he was the Sandler, Farley, all those years. Like he was in that time period, like just kind of that pocket where like it was my favorite year. And I was like, well, who was the coolest? And he goes, honestly, none of them would hang out with the crew. Like they had, like they were basically like, we're the talent, you're the workers,
you're the help,
except for Tracy Morgan.
Of course,
he wouldn't hang out with the other performers. He would hang out with the workers because he felt more comfortable. Yeah, he didn't like hanging out with like.
And he's so cool. So 30 Rock, like his character is literally Tina Fey writing about working with him. Like, it's obviously exaggerated. But, like...
I honestly, the stories I've heard... You should listen to Jay Moore's show. He tells a lot of Tracy Morgan stories. And I honestly don't think they're exaggerated.
It's not that exaggerated.
I think some of them are a little watered down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. But I remember Tina Fey is obviously my biggest hero.
Have you ever heard the Burt Kreischer, Tracy Morgan story?
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh, my God. Anyway, any Tracy Morgan, anything. He is a... But, yeah, that's the best example of a comedian who is not thirsty at all.
No, he is not.
And he came out and he killed it.
Yeah.
But he had something to prove. So hopefully Eddie Murphy...
Chris Burnett. I'm going to get you pregnant, Liz Lemon.
I really hope that, maybe Eddie Murphy just feels like he has something to prove.
Dude, I hope he kicks ass.
And he kicks ass.
Mean, that'd be his third big one? I mean, he's like, he had Delirious, then he had Raw. I mean, Raw
was crazy.
Like, people would have stand-up specials. Raw, they showed it in the theaters.
Yes.
Like, you had to go to the movie
Raw
theater to see Eddie Murphy
still,
Raw.
in my opinion, the stand-up special.
Like, has there ever been another stand-up special shown in a movie
I don't
theater?
think so.
That big?
No.
I don't think there's another stand-up. Like, if you talk to any stand-up comedian, it's like, what is your dream? I want to have Raw.
Well, I've listened to a lot of, we've really got to end on this.
Yeah.
So I've listened to a lot of podcasts where they talk to a lot of comedians, and they're always like, who are your idols? And it's Pryor, Carlin, and then if they're newer, Murphy.
Yes.
So,
Murphy is my generation's Pryor, I think.
Yeah. And Pryor was.
But, I mean,
huge.
I love Pryor. I spent $100 on a Pryor vinyl.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was worth it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I guess moral of the story is hopefully Eddie Murphy comes out of retirement and kicks some ass.
He just comes out swinging.
Swanging. I want to thank you guys for watching the show. Hollyanne, you've got what coming up?
I have the open mic tomorrow and every Monday at Inside Out downtown.
Come out so that she can keep doing it, man.
Yeah, please. It's
actually really badass.
It's really fun. We have a stage. We have the best bartenders in town. Like, please come out and support it so I can keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's about it right now.
Billy's got an album out. It's on Spotify. You can actually buy it on
Please do.
What's the site they said? I don't know. It's called the
Bandcamp.
The Dirt I settled in.
You can get it for $3.
He went to the bathroom, so he's not here. We just plugged your record.
Okay.
Go buy it.
It's amazing.
Go buy it for $3. Don't fucking and then stream it.
Yeah.
Double dip.
I'm sorry.
I've been listening to it all day, every day.
Thank you.
Nonstop. It's amazing.
And the thing is, if you have 700 listens on Spotify, that amounts to 10 cents.
Nice.
So we need like
$1. You need $1.
We need like a trillion
Just
listens.
play it while you're
First of all,
sleeping.
We need to fucking fix that system because that's fucking ridiculous.
I know.
Peter Frampton.
I'll just tell my Alexa to play it all day long.
What's the name of
while
that
I'm not
song?
even at home.
Baby, I love your way.
Baby, I love your way.
Baby, I love your way.
That bought his house. He said that on The Simpsons. Like,
Okay,
the song
it bought his house, but like recently, Spotify sent him his pay for that for 14 million listens.
No. I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna correct you on this because that you talked about this. Like, that doesn't sound right. So he had 55 million.
I'm sorry,
listens,
55 million listens,
and he got paid
$1,400. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he went to and he's
crazy.
actually taking it to Congress, and he's like, "This is wrong.
Thank God, because that's crazy.
It's wrong." Someone's made. I mean, the music industry has just moved and makes money somewhere else. But anyway, this next Sunday at 3 p.m., we're going to have at Dialogue Brewing an afternoon with 10 drink minimum, where we will debut. It's a beer release for our 10 drink minimum brown ale. Come on out and you can hobnob with us. We'll be drinking the beer. We'll be hanging out.
I'm ready for this.
I'm excited.
I'm ready.
Are there going to be some pictures of us making
Because
it?
also, you got to think.
Video.
Video?
There is definitely a
Even better.
season change coming out when it's happening. Of course, we've passed the solstice.
Yeah.
We've totally,
it's going to get cooler, I hope.
It's going to get cooler.
But there's
And so hopefully this brand of beer will go on well into the fall months. And hell yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it hopefully not. People wipe it out.
But also, hell yeah, the Wavy Hour at Tractor Brewery.
That's also still there, yeah. But with this one, we actually made it, and then we had a guy there filming. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm kind of interested myself. I've got to actually do the audio for this. Maybe I'll do that this week. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be out by Sunday, but we actually have video of us making this beer.
I poured at least 3 bags.
Yeah.
And it's so good to hear about the rural part of just like agriculture.
The rural juror.
Rural juror.
That's the best version of that. Yeah, we actually have to get out of here. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Go to facebook.com, Tindrink. Go to tindrinkminimum.com. Watch Snatchers for Smiley. Watch...
second season, Midnight Texas.
Yeah.
Also, you would love my shirt. It's
if you could see it.
It's a very Kyle shirt.
Thank you guys for watching. With that,
we are Tin Drink Minimum.